Yo, yo, you tuned in to the Vibe on Air. Mr. D's the Open Mic King. Poison Ivy in the building. We here, and we got a great show for you. If you want to call in and talk to us, feel free. 216-526-1555. That's once again 216-526-1555. Make sure you're checking us out at www.thevibeonair.com. Poison Ivy in the building. What's going on, homie?
What's up? Hey, Ashan. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Latoya. No, not Latoya. I'm sorry, Latanya. Latanya Ward. Hey, girl.
Had a quick internet issue. I don't know why my laptop was acting like it didn't know we supposed to get the internet. But we back up. You know, Facebook, we about to hit y'all too. But yo, check out. We got a great show for y'all today. Today we got his guest. We got Mike Berry. He gonna be on in the show, in the building on the show, talking to y'all about filmmaking, motivational speaking, and all that. And of course, we got a Cleveland legend, Cleveland music maker, promoter, all types of stuff this dude do. We got Dennis Cash gonna be in the building. He gonna be in the building about 8:30. So you know we gonna have a great show. Showtime. If you're checking us out, feel free. We appreciate it. Shout out to Ben Dykes for tuning in. So yo, we got some stuff to talk about. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Poison, of course, got the GOOD news report. That's gonna be a kind of crazy. I got some crazy stuff to talk about too, though. Like for instance, I got something really silly to talk about though. You been to Walmart lately?
Oh my God. Actually,
you ain't been to Walmart lately?
I was next door. I was at Home Depot. Why? What happened?
No, it's nothing that happened. They started this new campaign where they trying to make like they customer service reps are like superheroes, and they making them wear capes.
Okay, true. They're wearing capes, like
Yeah, like literally. I'm about to put it up on the screen.
Are they yellow or blue?
They yellow. They wearing like yellow Walmart capes. It's crazy. Like if you look at it, it's like that's what they.
Oh my gosh!
They make
Are you serious?
It's gonna pop up on the YouTube in a second. But it's like they making them wear. The store is starting to ramp up their back to school promotion. It's a back to school promo that they doing. So it ain't gonna be here.
If you were a Walmart employee.
But it's saying own the school year like a hero.
Okay.
And they call it back to school helpers. It takes a
that's all
superhero to make to know a superhero. That a Walmart spokesman says. But yeah, I mean, I went to the Walmart in Mayfield the other day and it was crazy. But the Walmart employees are tripping about this because it's corny. It's kind of corny.
I mean, but listen, what did
It's
it
your
say?
job. I mean,
what did it say? It said you're supposed to be a hero. What? Read that again.
It says to be a superhero, to know a superhero, you have to be a superhero.
That is so true.
So that's what they, so they making them wear capes around the store, which
you better wear that damn.
It's funny,
cape,
but
girl.
you got people on Facebook, Walmart employees all over the country. I said employers, Walmart employees all over the country. Like my manager is making us wear these capes. I'm so pissed. People pissed about it. I don't think they're gonna quit their job over it though. But you gotta wear your cape.
I gotta go get Mike Berry.
You gotta go get Mike Berry at the door. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, you gotta wear your cape. It's just
Wear that damn cape and be proud.
right. The boys to be yelling real loud, but yeah, I mean they got them wearing capes and everything. It's not bad. You gotta do what you gotta do when you working. It's your job. Tamara Sands, what's up, girl? What's up, sis? I ain't seen you forever, man. You only come on one side of town, so we don't bump into each other like we used to. But yeah, I mean they got them wearing capes now. It's funny, but like I said, they've been posting on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat about how they just pleased with that. And I went up to, like I said, the one in Mayfield, and it was like one dude standing there. It had to be a black dude. It was a little skinny dude with this cape on, and people pointing and laughing at him. But you got to do what you got to do if you're working at a place. But hopefully it'll be over after the back to school thing. Speaking of back to school, I hope all y'all got y'all back to school shopping done. I know it's been hectic trying to get the kids together and everything like it is every year. It's been a lot of back to school sales, a lot of I stutter a lot, so excuse me. A lot of back to school. Just it's been stuff going on for back to school. The organization I'm part of, one of the organizations, we usually do a back to school bus where we try to fill the bus up with supplies. A lot of that stuff is still going on. I don't know if school started yet because I ain't got no kids that I don't keep up with it. But get your supplies. There's going to be a lot of free giveaways for kids. Everybody trying to look out for the kids. So keep your eye open. We'll be talking about some as we hear them. But it's time to get them kids back to school. Everybody trying to get them out the house. That means more food in the refrigerator. especially you got teenagers. We're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff today. We definitely gonna be talking about Malaya Obama because something happened to her in the news, which we're gonna talk about later. And we got some more Usher news as well. And of course, Poison Ivy got the GOOD good news report, so make sure y'all check that out. But I'm tripping on the cape, the dude with the cape. If you're on Instagram or on the website, that's what it looked like. The dude got a cape on at Walmart. That's what they walking around like, trying to help people and everything. And that's when, that's your job. You got to do what you got to do. You can't complain if somebody make you wear a cape at work. As long as they don't make you wear a dress at work, you ain't supposed to. We got my man Mike Berry. He about to walk in the building in a second. Dennis Cash going to be on the show as well. He got some things he got going on. He bringing some and one players to the city. We'll actually be interviewing one of them next week too. So it's going to be a lot of good things going on. But we about to hop into some music real quick before we get started on these segments. It's the Vibe on Air. Mr. D's the open mic king. Poison Ivy. She in the building. She getting the door, I guess. And when we come back, it's going on. I got some new music from Tanisha Salary. It's called I Love It. It's a very dope, mellow song. And then we're going to also hop into some Ross T with some great vibes. It's the Vibe on Air. Mr. D's, Poison Ivy. We in the building. Shout out to Carl McKenzie, Mighty K in the building. I see you. Mike Berry just walked in the building. We'll be right back in a little bit. It's the Vibe, y'all. It's the Vibe, y'all. It's the Vibe, y'all. If you're on Facebook, we still going.
You come a little closer to me. I've got something I've got to tell ya, boy. I think you are just what I need. Boy, you got me spinning. My mind is going in circles. I don't know what's come over me. Something about your love. There's something about there's something about the way you move. Baby, 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 baby. Got me going up my mind. I can't tell if it's wrong or right. I love it, boy, you know you got me on a natural high. And I'm so good. To each other, oh, things seem like they're supposed to be. Oh, this love right here, so easy, and it's unbreakable. Boy, you got me spinning, my mind is going in circles. I don't know what's come over me. Something about your love. There's something about there's something about the way you move. Baby, baby. Going up my mind. I can't tell if it's wrong or right. I love it. Boy, you know you got me on a natural high. You look so good.
beautiful it is to be in the midst of some wonderful people. You bring forth a great vibe, you know. Great vibe. Can you feel it? Great vibe. It's all over. Great vibe. It's everywhere. Great vibe. I feel so good congregating with my people. No man no fuss, no cuss, no man no evil. Everyone gets a whole of meditation. To bring change in the world, it takes patience. Everyone take it, no fuss, no fight. Rasta stand up, shine out your light. Each and every day, the reason why that I'm so happy. It is great vibe. Can you feel it? Great vibe. It's all over. Great vibe. It's everywhere. Great vibe. I hope the feeling's mutual. It's beautiful. I love it just to be right here. Can you feel the vibes? For there's a natural mystic blowing through the air. I can see the people jamming, waving from side to side, throwing their hands in the air. Tonight it's all about that great vibe. Yeah. Great vibe. It's all over. Great vibe. It's everywhere. Great vibe. Great vibe. Don't let it tie. Don't let it tie. You gotta keep it alive. Keep it alive. Keep it alive. Keep it alive. Yeah. Don't let it die. Don't let it no way. Keep it alive. Can you feel it? Great vibe. It's all over. Great vibe. It's everywhere. Great vibe.
Yo, we back. It's the vibe on air. Mr. D's the open mic king. Poison Ivy, we in the building. If you want to call in and talk to us, feel free. 216-526-1555. 216-526-1555. I had to make sure I said the number right. And we in the building, man. And before we was left out, I was talking about how Walmart employees mad because they got to wear capes now. Huh?
I think that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's their job. They got to do what they got to do. But it is kind of corny.
I mean, for a limited time, right?
Yeah, it's till after the back to school season over.
Yeah.
And then, I was talking about, it's back to school season. As we come up on and, different places that's doing different things for the kids because, kids need supplies and stuff. We're going to shoot that out, of course. We got to make sure the kids get right. Mike Berry in the building. He just over here chilling.
Mike Berry in the building.
If you want to listen in, you got to throw the headset on because we can make sure. Shout out to Don. I ain't going to call it by it. Shout out to Nazy Nay. What's going on, Nazy Nay? I see
Hey,
you.
Nazy.
Mike Berry here. We're going to talk to Mike Berry in a minute. We're going to talk about, the movies and the motivational speaking and, his.
Nazy, I was thinking about you earlier. We need to do lunch.
Huh?
I'm talking to Nazy. I was having a conversation with Nazy.
Okay. I guess you can have a conversation with Nazy. She ain't talking back, though.
Hey, Rob.
We're going to talk about Mike Berry, about some of his past career moves, everything, We were just talking about one, but we ain't going to get to it yet. But it is time for Poison Ivy to do her thing, so I got to put focus on her. So it's time for the GOOD Good News Report. Poison Ivy, she in the building. If you want to talk to her, She here. She about to tell you some things. Because everything's good. Everything's good.
Everything good.
It's good. Shout
I
out to
think
DA
Mike Berry know
Devo.
that song a little well. I think so. I'm gonna get into that a little bit later though.
You got loud.
All right, what's up? All right, let me put my headphones on.
Yeah, that would help. Wait, go ahead. Just talk. Let's do it. The camera
All
right
right,
there.
y'all. So I'm gonna start off, a little devastating, and then we're gonna get the glory in the end. But a beautiful young lady by the name of Ashanti Hunter was gunned down in front of her children by her boyfriend on Sunday in North Houston. The cousin had just dropped off the kids at the apartment. Ashanti had just gotten in a fight with her boyfriend, and she was trying to get away. She ran outside. She was knocking on doors for help when nobody answered the door. Her cousin heard shots, and she ran outside, and Ashanti was in her passenger seat of her car. The boyfriend shot several times into the window. Her young son was in the back seat. The other son was upstairs and looking out the window, watching everything happen.
Wow.
It was a whole bunch of kids outside, and they all ran when they heard shots, and they ran out their shoes. So their shoes are now a part of this, brutal killing or whatever. But the man was found at a local motel. He called the police. He told on himself.
Turned himself in.
Yeah, but that bothered me because of the domestic violence thing. Of course, that's number one. But two, because this woman was executed in front of her children, and she was beautiful. Like, this is the second story I'm telling about a domestic violence situation. The other lady didn't happen to die or get murdered or anything. She was saved by an ongoing police officer by the name of Officer Norman. Shout out to him. But this is just devastating because nobody should see their parent get murdered. Like, that just...
Yeah, that's I mean, you know what they say, killers don't have no heart, so it is what they gonna do what they gonna do, but you shouldn't involve the children.
Not at all. And then
they're gonna remember that for the rest of their life.
What the argument was about or anything like that, you know what I'm saying?
All they know is you killed my mom.
Yeah, I just hate the disconnect of the bloodline. Because I lost my mom not to murder or anything like that, but to cancer, and just being disconnected and watching her suffer.
Yeah, I just lost my dad to cancer.
Yeah, you did. So it's like to disconnect the bloodline. That's a spiritual thing that we go through as children, as adults, when we lose our parent. And I also saw a story about a lady who gave birth to a baby, and she died on the operating table.
Could she give birth to anything else? Because you're saying that, she gave birth to a baby, we didn't know it was a baby being given.
Okay, well, she gave birth. Okay, the lady gave birth, and she died. But the baby was kissing her and like holding her face. So they were trying to take the baby from her, and the baby was holding on to the mother's face. It woke the mother up.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, and I wasn't gonna tell that story. I got that a week ago, so I don't have
So the baby wow! So she was clinically dead.
Clinically dead, and the baby was holding on to this mother's face, and she woke up.
Wow, that's...
Yeah. So I'm just saying how that bond is between your children. You and your children. I couldn't fathom seeing my mother or my father murdered. Cancer is one thing because I watched her suffer, but murder, that would do something to me mentally. So I just want to say, love your kids, love your parents, hug on them, tell them you love them.
For real, love yourself.
Every day. Every day. My daughter is 7, and my daughter just gave me some of the best relationship advice I have ever got from anybody, and she's 7. You know what I'm saying? So talk to your kids and be friends with your children and love on them and hug on them and kiss on them, even when they do stuff that you don't want them to do still. But yeah, shout out to that family in Houston. I'm so sorry to hear that. On a lighter note, okay, men and women, don't we love our hair? Now, I know y'all used to me wearing wigs and stuff because that's what I do, wigs and gigs. But there is something. It's a regrowth regimen. It's an ancient Indian remedy, and it cures baldness and hair loss. So men, if you out there, if you looking a little, if it's kind of crawling to the back and it ain't supposed to be, then you might want to look into this. So if you take black cumin seeds and carrot juice.
What is it called?
Black cumin seeds.
You mean cumin?
No, cumin, cumin.
Duh.
Black seeds, okay.
The cumin is
Cumin,
cumin, because what you're saying is not a seed.
I ain't
Even
saying
though
like that.
it can
Anyway,
produce a seed.
Black cumin. Black cumin.
Cumin.
I hate him. Black cumin seeds
You gonna keep saying?
and carrot juice. The cumin seeds improves
Say
your
cumin,
Would you
please.
shut up?
Say cumin.
Cumin seeds improves your scalp health. You know, and you all you gotta do is take like a teaspoon of it and put it in a half a jar of carrot juice. Now the carrot juice makes your hair stronger from the root to the tip. It stimulates the hair growth, you know, and prevents it from breakage. It has vitamin C and E in it, which improves your blood circulation in your scalp. So if you use this for, I think it's 3 times out the week, you'll grow like an extra 7 inches in a few weeks.
All from coming.
Yeah. Off of cumin seeds. Yes, cumin seeds. Shut up, bitch. Whatever. So, I'm going to just slide this in here. I was going to say this last, but I want to say something else last. The Glenville Fest. Shout out to Miss Mickey. I will be playing Lord Licorice at the Life Size, hey Randy, at the Life Size Candyland game. And you should bring your kids because it's going to be fun. That's from 1 to 4. Now, I think we're like across from the circle stage. So if anybody who's familiar with the Glenville Fest, the circle stage is like the main stage, and we're across from that. So bring your kids, come out, we're going to have fun. Also, my nephew, who is my first artist, Ivy Entertainment, he will be dancing on the kids stage. So you come check him out. The main event.
That was for him.
September 22nd at the Symposium. I will be on the judging panel along with Miss Slim, Scratchmaster L, Casper C, and a few other
Casper
people.
C coming out?
Yeah, see, and I can't wait to see him. I love him so much. So, yeah, y'all come out and check out these artists and see the talent that we got in Cleveland, you know. And last but not least, this is my favorite.
You said that
topic.
2 times.
So, Willow Smith made a comment. If you don't know who Willow Smith is, that's Jada and
Will
Will's
Smith's
daughter.
daughter.
Yeah. She made a comment on Instagram. She posted a picture of a very beautiful young lady. And she said, in quotes, "I love beautiful females." So now she got social media raving about whether or not she's gay. Now, I have slid in females' DMs and said, "Cute ass," or "Oh, you cute," even publicly on their posts. "Oh, beautiful," #beautiful. So I don't think that they should just jump on her sexuality because of a comment that she made to another beautiful young lady. So, if y'all got any comments on that, or how should women compliment each other? Is it a way that we should do that, or can we just be forward? Like,
You know what? I think
you're sexy.
some women just need to.
Sit your dumb ass
Sit your dumb ass down, because you have to be confident within yourself to even compliment another woman.
Women compliment
like that.
women all the time.
How you feel about that, Mike Berry? How you feel about women complimenting each other?
No, that's just how y'all do.
Yeah.
Women can compliment each other. They can sip off each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
2 bros can.
Yeah, you can't walk up to Larry and be like,
You
"Damn,
can't
Larry,
get a sip of that beer.
your pecs look big today."
Right.
You can't do nothing like that.
Let's go to the comedy show together, bro.
No, you can't
It's
do
just
that.
different. That's just a societal norm. Women
Yeah.
do all
Yeah. So my thing, what I came up with, with that whole little debacle about her being gay, whether she is or she ain't, who cares? But call it like you see it, smell it, or taste it.
Okay.
If you see a pretty woman, she beautiful, she beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So that's the end of the GLLD news. I'm gonna shut up and see my outfit. Okay, all right.
Thank you,
All
Poison.
right, everything good.
I'm about to bring back something just for today that I ain't did in a while. So here we go. If I can hit the button right.
You better not do what I think you about to do. I knew you was about to do that. Whatever. I am. Call in and tell me if you think I'm ratchet
No, we're not talking about you. It's not
Or-
for you. It's the news I'm about to
or
report.
bougetto. Oh, it wasn't for me.
It wasn't for
Why
you.
not?
I'm about to talk about some ratchet stuff.
I thought. Okay, but don't call in because I ain't ratchet.
She thought. See, you
Don't
presume.
call. You ain't give me my outro. I usually give my outro. What
Not
happened
all
to
the
my?
time.
I can move
You know what?
out. Let me move out of
You
my
know,
segment.
you just want to hear yourself.
Move out my
But
segment.
fine. Here.
That's so disrespectful.
Now I gotta read. That was the GOOD good news.
GOOD.
You had to put your sunglasses on.
That's it. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
But now it's time for. We about to hop into this real quick. Because there's some ratchet stuff going on in the news.
I am not the one, boo-boo.
All right, today in Ratchet News, since I ain't did the Ratchet News in a while, I got a couple stories for you. I'm going to start with the simplest one first. But it appears that Malaya Obama was caught with 7 other dudes buying a couple pounds of weed.
Oh, she been smoking weed.
Yeah, I know. And that's the story. She's been known to smoke weed, but now she got caught. It's like they got her mug shot with 8 other dudes. They call it the gang at 8. And it's still not a good spotlight on the former president.
I mean, listen, that's what the former president.
former president,
He's
but
no longer president.
Those are all the 8 guys there. They was with her? Yeah, they was all caught in the weed transaction.
Leave.
Yeah, let me read the story here.
Alone.
If you thought that one little joint Malaya Obama smoked while she was shaking her ass at Lollapalooza last year was bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. Apparently, Malia's weed habit has gotten a lot worse because she was caught in a massive marijuana bust in her home city of Chicago, Illinois. Malia was caught buying weed edibles from 2 of her thug friends, as well as enough pot to make young rapper Snoop Dogg
why they gotta be
look like an
thugs?
amateur, according to sources in Chicago's lead drug task force. Officers first observed Obama pulling up to the street corner and blinking her lights 6 times, a spokeswoman for the department says. She then spoke with an African-American male who got in the car. Then they drove to a building a few blocks away. She walked upstairs with the man and then came down 30 minutes later, the spokesman says. It was then that the officer made her move. Obama was then swarmed by police who easily found her precious drugs in her oversized Gucci handbag. Now, the story sounds like they're trying to over-sensationalize a little bit because they're using all these different techniques and words to try to make it sound greater. But the fact is, it's still the president's daughter, former president's daughter, and you still in the spotlight, and the things you do still reflects your family.
So she can't smoke weed because her daddy was the president?
Yes. Not in the public eye. You can't.
Violent.
First of all,
they was sneaking around and they caught.
Do you want to hear what I got to say?
Buying weed.
Do you want to hear what I got to say?
Go ahead.
First of all, I ain't got no problem with you smoking weed.
I'm on your side, Malaya. You can smoke all the damn
I mean, she can do all you want. But you are in the public eye.
So how else is she supposed to buy her weed?
She's the president's daughter. She got people who can do that for her.
What if they won't get it because Obama her daddy?
If
so
they
she
work,
they
still. If they work for her, they work for her.
So you saying she's sloppily buying her weed?
Yes, she very much so.
Because if I was Michelle, right, and I was the former first lady, and Jamaria was out in the streets buying weed, I would kind of feel some kind of way too. So I feel it. But don't knock her for smoking the damn weed.
That's not what they're knocking her about.
Let her smoke her weed.
I'm not knocking her for that. I mean, I'm an advocate of weed, but still in the news though, it's still in the news though.
That look real bad.
And it's still bad.
That
And it's still,
bad.
You did it sloppily. I mean, if I was her father, I would be upset. If I was her family, I'd be upset.
Okay.
It's still the way you handle it. But this is our opinion.
Now, if she
This is our opinion.
if she was a nobody's daughter, nobody would care.
Yeah,
Leave
exactly.
little Michelle alone. She could smoke all the damn weed. She could buy from all the thugs.
I'm just reading the story, man. How you gonna overjump my story?
You know how I feel about her.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's my whole thing. If you got somebody that you have a whole team, send somebody else. You don't never Snoop don't go get his own stuff.
What if the White House didn't make her? What if she's
not in the White House anymore
stuff?
anyway.
That's
She
what
still
I'm
has
saying.
people though.
She
They
ain't
still
gotta be bougie because her mama and her daddy bougie.
It's about being smart.
It still might be smart. She is.
It ain't no smart way to buy weed because
Yes,
it
it
ain't
is.
even legal.
It is definitely is.
It ain't legal, so it ain't no.
It's definitely a smart way
to buy.
Yes, it is. If you go to California, it's legal.
Y'all better leave.
Go to a dispensary. Yeah, you should have sent somebody else.
I'll get the whole embarrassment of the presidential family situation, but leave that girl alone.
Look, the bust included 6 cans of baking soda, 13 THC-infused lollipops, and a gram shy of a pound of pot.
She ain't broke.
She ain't broke, but what you doing with a can of baking soda?
She water whipping.
What you doing with it? She's the daughter of the president, former president. You still got to be kind of cool. If your father was the former president, you gonna embarrass him like that?
I'm not gonna embarrass anybody. My daddy is not a former president, and I've never.
I'm just saying,
him.
what if?
But this is me. This is the difference between me and Lil Michelle. My daddy is not a former president, and I would never embarrass him.
I'm about to hit her with
I
this
did
one right
under
now.
wraps.
So if you was on tour
So
right now,
I can
and
say,
you was doing your thing, and you on tour, and you selling out stages, and all of a sudden they catch Lil Poison.
"Oh, my baby."
Yes.
I'm gonna come in her defense to the fullest, and then when I get behind closed doors, that's when I'm gonna tell her like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You embarrassing
So-
your mama out here. So I feel it, but leave her alone. Shit.
But you wouldn't have nobody get it for her. You wouldn't tell her better.
What? Tell her to have somebody go get it for her?
Yes.
I don't. You know what? I like to know.
Moving
what
on
I'm
to the
getting
next
when I
story.
get it.
It's over.
Okay, I want to go and meet the man myself and put it in my own hand. All this Molly and stuff
man.
going around out
Come
here
on,
in these
man.
streets these days. Man.
You gon'
Sprinkle some Molly in my bag because I'm
So
Poison Ivy. I send you to go get me something, and you bring me back a Molly-filled bag of bud. I can't deal with it. I feel her for going to get her stuff herself. I feel her.
wow.
Keep doing you, boo.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
In other news, Usher issues. The young lady that's saying that Usher didn't tell her that he had herpes, and the saying that he gave her herpes. Her name is Quantasia Sharpton. She's speaking out about it, and everybody giving her a hard time, because of body issues. Of course, they trying to say she's a big girl, and Usher probably didn't do that. Her friends came out and said that she's a habitual liar, pathological liar. She told one friend said that she once lied, said she was pregnant by August Alsina.
Oh, wow.
And there was another one about another star, but I can't remember that one off the top of my head. But she's saying that she was 21 years old and she got with Usher on her birthday and they so-called had a baby. Or so-called did it and not have a baby, but she got infected. She's trying to fight it, but like I said, it's not looking good for her right now. If you look at the pictures that I got on YouTube right now,
Oh, is that her?
they say that's her, but if you look at it, do it really look like her?
They look like her.
They both big, but that don't mean that that's the same person.
It don't mean that. It don't.
And I don't think you catch herpes through your clothes.
But you know what though? I was listening to Usher I was listening to Pandora and Usher came on when I pulled into the driveway tonight. And they was playing Confessions. So, it just dawned on me like, okay, they going around saying that he passed the herpes, but he been telling y'all for a long time with Confessions that he don't use condoms. So you the dumbass for sleeping with him anyway without no condom.
Wow.
I think he do have herpes now.
I don't.
I
care
mean,
if
he
do or
probably
he
do got
don't.
herpes, but I mean,
But you can't. You gonna get mad at me for giving you herpes when you did it to me raw? Like, who is really in their right mind gonna be like, I got herpes, right?
But legally, you gotta do that.
you
legally,
do legally.
you do. It's a lot of things you gotta do legally that people don't do.
Right.
So-
I mean, she should, like, if somebody gave me her, yeah, okay, I went in raw, but you have to, you gotta give me all the facts. You gotta.
You better
tell me
wrap
that
it
you got
up.
herpes. You gotta
I
tell
ain't
me.
even gonna risk it. I ain't gonna.
But
I
do
that.
this math. I wrap it up. The first 20 times. The first 50 times.
I feel you, and then
The
as soon
first
as you
other
go raw,
time.
boom, you
Yep.
got the bumpy jump. I
Yep.
feel you. I feel you.
Yep.
I vetted you for 6 months.
Yep.
And thought it was just you and I, and you never talked.
Exactly, and
that.
when people get together and they start sleeping around, they gonna use them condoms for a while. But both of y'all is
Yeah,
looking
and
forward
that's
to the
like-
day that
that's
y'all can
like-
just get rid of them things
That's like
and get it
marrying
in right.
somebody,
They're
too.
going to use it at 11, but that rollover at 2, ain't nothing changed.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
like marrying
Yep.
too. If you're gonna marry somebody,
Exactly.
you should tell them that you
Exactly.
infected. So, yeah.
But they saying also too, Usher's 2-year anniversary to his wife is coming up in September, and he going through all this. So it's a hard time for his family.
You got another wife?
Yeah, he got remarried.
Oh.
He got remarried. His wife's
Didn't
name
his
is
son die?
Grace Miguel,
His son died, didn't he?
stepson.
Stepson.
His
so
previous
that was
wife.
Tamika's son,
Yeah, that was his
wasn't
previous
Okay.
wife.
I thought
But
that was
yeah, so that's my ratchet news, man. It's just some crazy stuff going on. I felt that had to be ratchet news. It's just crazy, but the Malia thing, that's a big debate. I want people to call in when you get a chance. If y'all want to talk about it, about what y'all think, should she got somebody else to go for her? If she shouldn't have did it at all, or she's stupid for getting caught, is it her fault? What should Obama do? Call in. Let's talk about it. 216-526-1555. Right now, we got Mike Berry in the building. We're going to talk to him in a second. I got to play one song real quick just to get the break out the way. I'm only going to play one, though, and I think I am going to play something. No, she pissed me off.
so
We're going to
I
play.
love her. I love you, Donna.
We are going to play Menace and Deja, Party. This is the Vibe on Air. Mr. D's, Open Mike King. Poison Ivy, the queen. We in the building here. We about to step over here real quick and take this out. And then we're going to talk to Mike Berry, man. That's what y'all want to see. Then Dennis Cash will be here about 8:30. So we got two legends in Cleveland going to be in here talking to us. It's the Vibe, y'all. Shout out to Darren Branch. I see you, homie. Evolution Jiu-Jitsu. I see you. Joy. He does not have what, Joy? Shout out to Stephanie. Shout out to Tawanda White.
Hey, Tawanda.
Shout out to Nicole Yvette. Shout out to LaShante Phillips. We're going to party. We're going to be back in a second with Mike Berry. He in the building. Y'all want to see him? That's Mike Berry right there on Facebook. It's 8:11. I'm about to. Yeah, you're not telling them to park in the back, are you? I'm gonna send you a regular text message. I just copy and paste and tell people to park in the back, come to the black door with the black on it. Like I told you when you was first the guest on the show. Yeah, but I told her, didn't I? Just tell them to park in the back. Yeah, because they're gonna go to the front door and we don't open the front door.
Turn up to the max. Bottles we turn up till we collapse. Move to the music, I'm making ones clap. Certified banger, suburb to the trap. Women is fine and they choosing it flies. Two girls blazing, I'm shooting my shots with no pistols, no fighting, just parties that rock. Free to be shut on to about 4 o'clock. I'm in the zone, yes, I'm feeling myself. Distance, feel out of breath. Me and my haters, we blowing a killer boy, and we just listen to killer to death. Music got me in a damn trance. I'm so geeked up till a DJ put this here on repeat. Doing it B.I.G. and VIP. 4 extra shots for the free, it's on me. Hang up your chicken, she leaving with me, but I'm kissing my paper and living my dream. Work hard over time every weekend, no sleep on the weekend. I sit back and think, just think about the front of my eye when I'm smoking and drinking and partying with up my hoe. Me.
We gon' dance, 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 dance. We gon' party, we gon' dance, 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 dance. Move your body, clap your hands, 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 hands. We gon' party, we gon' dance, we gon' party, we gon' dance, we gon' party, we gon' dance, 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 dance. We gon' party, we gon' dance, 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 dance. Music got me in a trance, 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 trance. We gon' party, we gon' dance, we gon' party, we gon' dance. I just wanna party, I just wanna dance. Ladies, move your bodies, fellas, clap your hands. I just wanna party, I just wanna dance. Ladies, move your bodies, fellas, clap your hands. I just wanna party, I just wanna dance. Ladies, move your bodies, fellas, clap your hands. I just wanna party, I just wanna dance. Ladies, move your bodies, fellas, clap your hands. We gon' party, we gon' dance, 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 dance. We gon' party, we gon' dance, 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 dance. Move your body, clap your hands, 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 hands. We gon' party, we gon' dance, we gon' party, we gon' dance, we gon' party, we gon' dance, 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 dance. We gon' party, we gon' dance, 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 dance. Music got me in a trance, 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 trance. We gon' party, we gon' dance, we gon' party, we gon' dance.
Party, party, party.
We back in the building. It's the Vibe on Air. Mr. Deeds, the Open Mic King. Poison Ivy, the entertainer. And we in the building. You already know. Shout out to Tamika. Peaches so sweet. Peaches the pole boss. She in the building.
Hey, Peaches.
What's going on, Peaches? Ain't you supposed to be at work?
Come back. Peaches, you gotta come back. Bring that ass back,
Peaches
Peaches.
the pole boss?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cold.
Yeah, that's the coldest. She's one of the coldest.
Peaches the pole boss.
Oh, yeah, I had a show with the 3 top dancers in Cleveland. She was one of them, so you know.
I like that one. That's me.
Yo, make sure y'all call in if y'all want to talk to Mike Berry. He here, 216-526-1555. But right now, in the building, as I introduce him, as I like to do, I want y'all to put y'all hands together for the one and only filmmaker, motivational speaker, former hip-hop artist. Get up to my man, Mike Berry.
Yeah.
The fake audience loves you.
Oh, man. Clap it up, fake audience.
The fake audience. So, Mike, what's going on, man?
That's good, man.
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. So, you doing movies now.
Yo.
Big movies. What'd you do before the movie thing? I mean, give us a background on you. That's what we need, a background on you.
All right, real quick. Disclosure, man. I just came from an event, man, so I'm in this ugly shirt, but it was that event. But anyway, man, it's my 5th movie. Hey, Mr. Postman. Right now, I just had a best-selling book on Amazon for like 6 weeks straight.
Oh, that's what's
So I
up.
published a book. I mean, I got quite a few bodybuilding, natural bodybuilding titles. I got a couple top 100 albums. I was one of the first people to tour with MTV without a record deal. A lot of people don't know I got nominated for a Soul Train Award. I mean, I just do all things entertainment. I come from that.
That's what's up, though, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the MTV thing, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
I didn't know
Who
about Soul
was that?
Train
With Downtown Julie Brown was around? Or?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, man. So what happened, man, I went to St. Louis. So my homeboy, Eric Richardson, who used to be Bone Thugs manager, he was like, can my dude get 5 minutes? So they was like, no, but on the strength that he was Bone's manager, they was like, go ahead. And it's Lily White.
Right.
I turned out. And they was like, man, you can get on this bus right now. And I was on that tour.
Because I wanted to meet Downtown Julie Brown.
Dude, she used to be, she used to big me up too, man.
Oh, man. See, don't tell me that, man.
So,
Now I'm jealous.
What was going on with the Soul Train? You said you got
I got nominated for a Soul Train Award.
What was that about?
I got nominated. You know what I'm saying? They nominate.
Nomination is big.
Nomination is big.
It is. They, it is. I didn't. You hear about it. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna say it. They gonna say it on TV because
Right.
to get on TV, they already know that it might be 100 nominations, but they only say the 4 that you see on TV.
Right.
But it was something I did that they can't take back. That was for me without a rhyme.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So, so you did the bodybuilding thing, and I know you
Yeah.
used to be a personal trainer for a little bit.
Yeah, I still do personal training.
You still do it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, tell us about the beginnings, like from high school to adulthood. What was your path, I should say, not your track, your path.
I mean, I've been at it since anybody know me, man, know what I do now, man. I've been at it since 85. I challenge you to find anybody that can say I ain't in 85 what I am now. I'm a billionaire. I'm just off schedule. You know what I mean? Just a little bit off schedule.
Off schedule.
But I've been at it. You know what I mean? Like, when I was about 13, I grew up on Union. It was a building over across the street from John Adams, and it said Productions on it. I assumed it was a production company, but I don't know. And I was scared to knock on the door and ask them for a deal. You feel me?
Right.
And I went home, and I was like, I'll never do that again. And I've been at it since then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started out stealing people's rhymes, DJ Flash, Johnny O, McAdoo and Shock, and then eventually I just could write, you know what I mean? And I just got about it.
So, yeah, because I saw you today, you posted up something back in the day when you was doing the hip-hop thing. What was your name back then?
Big Gang. Big Gang is a...
Big gang.
Yeah, my name was actually Mr. Smooth. But, I went to prison for 7 years. And so, you're going to get a name for whatever. And they used to call me Big Gangsta Mike.
Okay.
And then that got changed to Big Gang. And then that got shorted to Gang. You know what I'm saying? So most people who know me, they don't call me Mike. Well, if you call me Gang, I know you know.
You know, yeah, that you from back
if
in
you call
the day.
me Mike, you don't know me from back in the day.
Yeah, that's like back in the day when I used to run. They used to call me Elementary,
Right.
which I hated.
So, like, do you ever get into your gank mode, like your rapper mode? Do you ever?
Yeah, but Gang is the alter ego. A lot of people. I'm transparent with. I keep you 100. I've been dealing with depression north for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? When I got a parole from jail, something just went bad, and that ain't, you know what I'm saying? And Gank is my alter ego. Like, you know, I'll be Mike Berry. A lot of people know, man, I'm like a laid back dude, but when I'm Gank, I turn up. Like,
so who you get the girls to? You give them Mike or you give them Gank?
who like females?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, most females, they know me as Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
So you give them the real you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I try to.
Now, you got 5 films under your belt.
Yup.
Name
5
the film.
features.
5 features. Now I know you work with Omar Gooden right now on the one,
Yep.
and he was also in Bangers,
Correct.
which I still have yet
Omar.
to see. I'm trying to get to see
We
that.
got to deal with. I got to deal with that. They just slow.
Okay.
Netflix, Walmart, Best Buy, Sam. You know that.
You know I'm trying to see it because ever since I heard about it and heard the Cleveland movie, I'm like, where's that? I want to see it, and But so, tell us about the features.
First feature was my first project, man. I had 2 months in school. I was in school 2 months, and I was like, man, I know enough. I'm gonna shoot. I shot my movie. It was garbage, but I put 700 people in there. You feel me? And that was called the Skip Thomas Project. I followed that up with Philly Wheaton's movie, If You Knew Better, You Do Better.
Yeah.
Which I co-produced and directed, and then I came back with Banger. And my 4th movie, Pressure, which is a documentary on depression, is actually airing Sunday at a charity event to raise money for to get people to listen in about depression and mental health. And then Hey Mr. Postman will be my 5th movie, my 5th feature. But I got a ton of short movies that I put in film festivals.
What's your process when it comes to like directing and writing movies? What's the process in that?
Like, man, I can write, man. I can write. That's what I do. And so I trust the pen. That's my process. Whatever I put on that paper, I know is right. It ain't failed me yet. I don't spend a lot of time redlining, going back. I trust that pen, you know what I mean? And so I write it, I freestyle it. Like, I just go, and it always come out like it need to be. Like, writing is my gift. It is what the universe, God, or whatever put me here to do. I can write. And I say that humbly, but I can write. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do.
Yeah, I mean, because I've seen your work and I've seen your movement. Because I've seen you on Facebook. I thought we were Facebook friends somehow, but I don't know what happened. But I know that you do some motivational speaking, and you try to focus on a lot of the depression thing. Because I have a family that's been in the joint, they out and did multiple years and everything. And I know that's a syndrome of that because it's just so life changing. And some people come out with focus, some people come out other ways. But I know that you are trying to touch people one person at a time as much as you can.
Yeah, man. I just think it's paramount that we breathe life into people. You know what I mean? And depression, it's dogged me, but I'm still a boss. You know what I mean? Like depression is a liar. It's like somebody just lying in your ear. You're not great. You're not worthy. You're not purpose, and you'll start believing it.
Right.
And so I just don't want nobody to go through that. And I also know that people need to be motivated. They need to, you can have all the talent in the world, but that won't teach you ambition and motivation, And so I just try to like inspire people, man, to just know you can overcome and be, evolved. I haven't changed. I've evolved.
Right.
That's basic.
Change is temporary.
Yeah, that's basic. I evolved.
We got Dennis Cash just walking in the building.
DC did my first video.
That's right.
So,
I know that was you, young man.
video,
How you doing,
yeah.
sir? How you doing, Mr. Sir?
So tell us about Mr. Postman.
Hey, Mr. Postman is written by a guy named Brian Berry from right here in Cleveland. It's the story of a guy, Brian, who loses his job as a bus driver and becomes a post office worker. He gets a post route, and he got that route.
Okay.
And it's some backstory, but he got that route. It's actually a really funny movie, man. You got A.J. Johnson in there from Friday, Paula J. Parker from Friday, Omar Gooden, the comedian Rodney Perry. You got Leanna Mendoza, and you got Walter Franks. All these guys is Hollywood guys who've been in the business a long time. One Shot Films. It's gonna be dope, dude. It's gonna be dope for the city. A good look.
I had to leave out because I had to go get the infamous Dennis Cash.
infamous
but I
Dennis
wanted
Cash.
to say shout out to Jay Gray, man, because she was in Banger and she
Shout
did
out to
an awesome job.
Jay Gray,
She's
Jessica Gray.
out in
LA.
right now.
Yeah.
Yep, doing her thing. So shout out to you, baby girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doing her thing.
Taking
Now,
bomb ass photos.
Bomb
Bomb ass
photos.
photos.
cause she bombed.
She is done, ain't she, man?
Now, all these films you done, you got all these SAG card carrying artists in your movies. Does that elevate your level to SAG level, or what does that do? Or
You know,
the tea.
cats gotta eat. You know what I'm saying?
Spill the tea.
Cats gotta eat, so you know they gonna tap dance around SAG when they got to.
okay, all right.
You know, you got. I give you a fact. You know, only 10% of SAG workers work.
Okay.
Having everybody be talking, I got a SAG card, that don't impress me, cause that don't make me come get you, cause you got a SAG card. Only 10% of SAG workers is actually eating.
Because, Jamie Foxx on his show, he had Kevin Hart on there when Kevin Hart was still bubbling.
Yeah.
And, he tried to, front on Kevin Hart, like, you got a SAG card, you still doing independent films, and, trying to play him like you still broke and all this stuff. And it was like, damn, Jamie, you. But,
Yeah, well, you if you say a word, so many lines, you get a SAG card. You
Right.
can buy a SAG card.
Right.
Yeah.
You pay the fee,
yeah.
but that ain't gonna make no director say, oh, I gotta get him because he got a SAG
Right.
card.
Right.
You got to have talent.
Yeah,
that's
you
what
gotta have
that's
talent.
that's the what
So a lot of
main
these
thing is.
actors, they do what's called day playing, man. They be like, look, 35, whatever it is, you're gonna pay me a day. That SAG card, I don't know where it's at.
Wow.
They gotta eat.
Right. Got to eat.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy though. I just don't get it. But so we got Mr. Postman coming out. You got the movie Pressure, that's right?
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the motivational speaking. You, like I said, we just talked about how you know what is your main genre that you deal with? Because I know you post videos all the time on Facebook and on Instagram. What's your main genre that you deal with as far as motivating people?
Man, I'm all over the place. Like, I'm a spiritual guy. I ain't real religious, man, but I know something pulling on me. But I'm a law of attraction type of guy. You know what I mean? Like, I got that from being depressed. When I was depressed, I could not create positivity, but I could work, and I still was getting favorable results. So that let me know that the universe couldn't differentiate between positivity and work. So I will outwork anybody because I have to outwork that depressive nature. You feel me?
Right.
And I still get positive results. Everybody be like, you got to get positive. No, you got to work.
You gotta work.
Gotta
You
work.
got to work. You can be positive
Faith
all
without
day.
works is
You can
dead.
have ideas all day, but if you don't put it
Faith
to
without
work,
It's a
works is
regret.
dead.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
work
right.
always turn into positive things.
Yeah, it do. Work always turn it. Donald Trump ain't positive, but he a
He
billionaire.
working.
Yeah.
But
He
he big
working.
because
He
he stay
working.
working.
He worked his way all the way
Yeah.
up to president.
Yeah, so I mean,
He
come
did.
on with it, So I just want to reach people, man, and just spread that message, man. That people don't realize what's in them, man. People had this like ringing telephone in them. You gotta answer that phone.
That's
And
I
it's-
like that.
And 9 times out
That
of
was
10,
good.
somebody gonna be playing on your line.
I gotta hit the horn on that one. That was dope.
You feel
gotta
me?
hit the
Somebody
horn.
gonna be playing on your line. But if you don't answer that phone,
You won't even know.
My horn was late.
No.
one day somebody gonna not be playing on your phone, but you
Oh, yeah.
didn't answer.
Yep.
So I'm one of them guys. I'm gonna answer that phone.
I know that's
What's
right.
up? Now in the building with you, we got a Cleveland legend himself. He got some things he got going on, doing a lot for the city. He used to sing for the city. I just saw him at karaoke yesterday. He didn't sing, but I did.
What was you doing?
We got my man Dennis Cash in the building. The fake audience gonna applause for you. They love you too.
Well, I was just at the karaoke enjoying someone's birthday party, and like I said, when I go to that stuff, I go to get away. I don't go to beat entertainment.
Right. But the dude came up there like, yeah, this is my business partner and everything. Dennis Cash, and then he played your song and everything, and then it's like.
That's the jammer.
Yeah, the jammer. He got mad at me because I told him he looked like 14 years a slave. But that's not the first time I said it though. He do look like he the Uncle Ben fried hard.
Uncle being fried hard, though?
He do though.
man.
But he a good dude. He
Who
a
you
funny
talking
dude.
about?
The jammer.
Oh.
The jammer Randy B. that the name itself is crazy. The jammer Randy.
But he's a good guy.
He's a good guy though.
True guy.
And he's funny as heck. He's funny as hell, man. He just, I think he's slow on the karaoke side, but we have conversations about that. But Dennis,
That's because you think you the king.
I am the king. I'm the open mic king. I ain't the
You are. I
karaoke
can't
king.
lie.
I'm the open mic
He
king. It's a
is the
difference.
open-
It's a difference.
He is the open mic king.
I am the open mic king. But Dennis Cash,
Yes.
I'm about 40 something. You know, I remember back in the day, Smooth Approach
Yeah.
and all those things. Tell us about your musical history, man.
Well, the first thing I like to say about the music was kind of rhyme with something he was saying. I just had a long conversation before I get into my history with my little son today. He's 15. I only got one child.
Shout out
And
to your son.
one of the things we talked about is kind of what you guys was alluding to about answering the call. You never know what's on the other side if you don't answer the call.
Right.
And my son, he's been around the music business since he's been a baby. And all the good guys I managed, Deep 3, the end of Smooth Approach's career, and Congress, all these guys. And I always thought he was learning from the mistakes those guys made. Mistakes is very simple in show business. One of my guys from Switch was on TV the other day, Greg Ingram, said that Barry Gordy told him the only thing that can get in your way is you.
Right.
Right.
You got the potential. He said he was 18 at the time. He knew their career was over because he knew what they was doing. They was all on that heroin, half of them. So he knew, because that was going to get in their way. So I would always tell guys that nothing's new out here in show business. That's how you can transfer the movies from you coming out of the show business. It's all the same stuff. Just different people playing the game, but the rules is all the same. Everything's the same from when they first started the stuff. But I was talking to my son about, he played basketball, right? And he was telling me that he wanted to play football. So we happened to go to Garfield for his first day of school, and a football coach was over there.
Okay.
And they have the curriculums everybody can do. So I said, hey, why don't you go talk to that guy over there? He wants to look like he's looking for players. So he go over to talk to the guy, and the guy saw him. My son is already cocky and stuff at his
Right.
age. Everybody think he's older, like 3 years older than what he is.
Oh, yeah. He a big boy.
And the guy says, hey, what grade you in? He said, well, ninth. He said, hey, just come to practice tomorrow. I'll give you a locker, your helmet and stuff, and we can use. This was a veteran coach, been coaching for over 30, 40 years.
Just saw him and saw how he looked and
know
said he was good.
What he can do with, and so we going to get this guy's lock, and then my son pulls up all of a sudden. I don't know if I'm really gonna play now. What are you talking about? I let him go to practice. He comes out, give his jersey after the end of practice to another player and get us to the coach. I said, why are you doing that? Well, I'm not gonna come back and say, well, first of all, you don't disrespect the coach like that. You get the jersey and give it to the coach.
Yeah, you got to man up on
Don't
that
put
one.
him up. So I asked the coach about it. The coach said, look, we can do something with the kid, but if you don't want to play, and I said, well, why you think you don't want to play? He said, well, it sounded like he was not happy about the position, but we didn't give nobody positions. I said, well, I might talk. He said, but let me tell you something. This is what the coach told me. He said, we already had our mind made up. He's going to get the start positions, linebacker and running back, before they even see him run it down. They looked and said, we knew something with him. And I said, okay, let me talk to him for a day, for all night. Talk to my son about this. He crying, and I want to force him to play football. I said, I never told you had to play. You play basketball, but you ain't worked out all summer. You play video games. What I was telling him was, if you don't get up and answer the call when opportunity comes, you never know what's on the other side if your hand is closed like this, and all you got to do is open it. And I said, you don't even have to look at you might be playing football, but if you practice and do what these guys tell you to do, if you decide just to play basketball when time come, you're going to be ready.
Right.
Because you're in condition. You do. So the whole thing about why I brought this up is all these stories with show business and how it works, it's all part of daily decisions people have to make. And I think the one thing that if young people are listening to you guys broadcast that you should take out of these conversations is when opportunity knocks, the whole ideal is being ready to challenge it. Not waiting on it to come get you, because it shows up in mysterious places.
Because ain't nobody going to hand it to you for sure.
When
Nobody.
When we did BET, I think it was in 2009 with Congress. I don't know, many people don't tell this story, but I'm going to tell it since we're on the subject. We did things. I would always do things according to opportunity. I could sniff one and be ready. And it takes us here, there, and there. That's how we wound up in New York. Well, we was singing with MC Light's dad. Nat Robinson was working. I did a deal with him. And he knew the young lady who owned a restaurant in Harlem. Turned out she was the first black model on the cover of Time magazine.
Oh, wow.
You never know who you're going to run into. So when we get there, I saw some speakers up in the corners like that, and I asked the lady, I said, hey, you think it's possible for the boys to sing from Nat, because he hadn't seen them sing live? She said, sure. He can sing. This is what we do. We have open night poetry. I said, that's us. So Jeff hooked it up. We hooked it up because we perform on the spot. Congressman performed about 20 minutes. When they got through, that lady pulled me off to the side and said, hey, look, I'm going from here to cater Sierra's private party with her label. I want to take them with me.
I know that.
Now, let me back this up. She didn't say, let me make a call. She didn't say, let me ask somebody.
Direct connect.
She said, based on what she saw, now we already walked in the door. We just came off BET. We went Matt Robinson. See all these steps take place, opportunities. The phone is ringing. And she says, no, they with me.
Bring your ass.
Bring your ass.
So I say no more. We go out to get the van. My van's towed because we had tickets. I didn't know. We trying to find the van. She said, well, I'll take them while y'all try to find the van, and I'll get them back. We leave, look for the van all over Harlem, whatever, and come back about 2 hours later, and they still at the place. She don't left, and guess why?
Why?
Because the gentleman, Congress, told them he was not a fan of Sierra.
One of the people in Congress?
Congress was a singer, and I just had backup guys with him.
Right.
For his act.
And he told him he wasn't a fan.
He told the kids, they all kids. Now, I'm not there. You know, that would have never happened with me.
Right.
Because I would have wrung somebody's neck because I know how it takes to get there. But my point was opportunity knocked.
Yeah,
Man.
And this kid says, well, I don't want to do that because I'm really not a fan
Do
of
you
her.
know how many other people would have been there?
Well,
Wow.
so that explains why people drop the ball. I just brought it up.
I know a dude that was talking to Lazy Bone, and I was right there with him, and he was giving Lazy Bone CDC. Lazy had heard the CD because one of the Poetic Thugs was his cousin, and his cousin introduced him to Lazy, and Lazy heard the CD and said he liked it, and I guess they called themselves drinking with Lazy and all this stuff, and he was sitting there talking to Lazy like, man, y'all got some dope music. Some of y'all lyrics ain't crap, and you tell that to the dude, like, so
Can't do that.
it's like, what did you thinking?
Well, part of making it in show business is understanding when to.
I mean, you got to
shut
be
your
real,
mouth.
but
Hold 'em and we in the phone.
you can't be too real.
Because it don't take much to offend somebody who's done something and you say the wrong thing. Like Gerald was telling me, Gerald Levert, when he took 3 guys, I was at Gerald's house filming his son's birthday party, Jamaica, when he was 6. And just me and Gerald talking. Q Nice was there with me in the mirror, and they was upstairs setting up the camera. Nobody else in the house. And we just talking about show business. And Gerald he never got a chance to really talk to people because they didn't understand him. So he always liked me. Gerald always looked up to me. He said, man, I'll never forget, man, I took David Beck, Anthony Rice, and Mike Harris from the Odyssey Company. And they did this record. They used to be at their club on Miles. They did a video and everything. So the label said, we'll sign them with Gerald. Gerald was in the business for real. They said, we'll give you today, we'll get the boys $10,000, go have a nice time. We'll cut the deal with you, Gerald. Check right now. He said, David stood up in a meeting and said, wait a minute. No disrespect, but we want what G get. See, David had heard a rumor.
Oh, my
Of
God.
how much Gerald get every time he do an album. And so the guy asked him, what might that be? He said, well, we heard Gerald get at least $375 every time we do an album. That's what we want. So the guy politely told, this is what Gerald told me. Politely told Gerald, let's cancel this meeting till tomorrow and we'll talk about it. He told Gerald, don't you ever bring them fools down there again. However, Gerald told me that was the last time he took artists in a meeting with him because it cost him.
Yeah.
So I was bringing up, this stuff happens all the time now, getting to where my career started from. We started at 14, you know, when we started show business. And we had an older brother that was in the business, played with a guy named Lou Ragland and Hot Chocolate. So we always kind of saw it as kids. When we was like 10, 11, they would rehearse and see him. So it was kind of like appealing, you know, attractive. So by the time we started singing, my brother started working when he realized it's something we wanted to do. We did a couple of talent shows. And the guy discovered us at Hamilton in a talent show. And there was a famous group around the city called Urban Imagination that appeared on Apollo. It was a big-time group out of Cleveland, young guys. They had some problems with a couple of members in the group. You know, the boys was getting older. They was all teenagers. I think the oldest might have been 20 or something. And drugs, things like that back then. So they decided to replace them. So they called me. Back then there was no pages. I don't know how they tracked me down, but they found me. And the guy asked me what I seen. I thought it was an honor because we knew them kids as they were sort of like famous towards us. So I told him I had a twin brother that sang. The guy said, well, bring him too.
You got a twin?
Danny, yeah. He's taller
know
than me,
that.
dark skinned, you know, weigh about,
Oh, y'all fraternal twins?
yeah,
Okay.
40, 50 pounds more than me and all this stuff. And so when we got with the guys, that skyrocketed us to a lot of stuff that we had no idea we could do. But the whole thing, what we understood back then was to follow directions. We already conditioned as kids, and what we saw, you got to do what you're told to do. We learned the stuff. 3 weeks, they taught us. The first show we did professionally at 14, I was about this big, was with the Spinners and back at the Packard Music Hall, right off the talent show stage. With them guys, when they made them records, I'll Be Around for real. Them records out. We opening up for these guys. But we always was prepared to just be honored to what we was blessed to do and absorb it. You know, don't get big, just it comes.
Right.
Just rehearse and get better and better. And what did you say? Things gonna happen because of work we was putting in. We believe that. We never got caught up on who we was playing with. Was we scared? We were always nervous because that's part of. But we knew once we got on stage, we could handle our own because of what we rehearsed.
Right.
So that was one of the things that I saw from the time I was in showbiz. But somebody tipped me off when I was having problems with groups over the years. You know how we did with Smooth Approach, the original Smooth Approach. They was at the door. And one day they just decided to tell me, we ain't doing this no more.
Wow.
I'm in the middle of sponsors and
Right.
traveling and this company would have. It took me for a big loop because we spent a lot of money and resources in these guys. What I was always telling them, it came from what we came from, how I was able to do it. I could always transfer what I was involved with. And I always remember when they left, I had to decide to start all over again to find some guys. So me and Jeff took off for a month. We didn't know what to do. We had to it was like being on dope, and we had to get it out of our system because you did this for 6 years for real, and it's gone.
So did you have Smooth Approach? You had Smooth Approach before you had Too Deep, right?
Deep 3 is younger
Deep,
guys.
I mean,
They
Deep
came.
Three. Deep, ooh.
They was a third set of guys I dealt
Okay,
with.
yeah, because that was I met you when you had
05, something like that,
Yeah.
06.
Yeah, I met you. when
Because
you
Smooth Approach broke up in 2000.
Okay.
And that was that long ago?
Yeah, 2000. I
Wow.
remember where we was down at the Rock Hall, and the president, because it was during the presidential election when we was doing all that stuff.
Yeah, I was there with y'all.
Yeah, we was doing.
I got the video.
Do you? It was a
Yeah.
good show there.
He better have that.
We did all of the voter registration with Blockbuster Video, NAACP, BET.
You know it was a while ago because it was Blockbuster and they ain't been
For
open.
real.
It's
But we
been a
was
minute.
with these guys on corporate stuff where they was taking us around the
That
country.
show was
Right.
packed out too.
But at the end of the day, what I found out over the years was what we got, we was the last guys to get it. How show business really was and how you got it. And the guy that tipped me off was Bobby Massey from the OJs,
Okay.
one of the original guys. And he was telling me, he said, Dennis, you didn't understand that y'all was the last group, because we were kids, that got that last development and what really show business was about when Motown was doing it for real. And then they shut it down. The label stopped doing, remember they said they stopped doing the A&R and all that, they shut it all down. He said, y'all was the last people to come out that understood show business from the ground. And that I never knew that, until years after I was doing, I'm fighting these guys. Then I started putting things into perspective with dealing with artists today. What I figured out was a lot of them are disadvantaged because the industry gonna take advantage of them, first of all.
Right.
What you don't know is how I get my money. So the more you don't know about publishing, the more you don't know about writing, all that stuff, who gonna get it? They are.
Yep.
They tell you that in the movie with
New
uh,
edition.
Straight Outta Compton.
TLC.
Remember when
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the
How
whole
they-
thing, the principle was them people was making millions right off the bat, and they wasn't paying them but peanuts, and only one to ask the question about it was one guy.
It was Ice Cube.
It was Ice Cube. He just kept saying, something ain't right, man. Give me something right there. And they kept pushing him off. Then Ice Cube just said, well, I'm done. It was nothing personal, but he knew there was one step they never did. And all them guys, this happens to guys. You got to imagine if they did guys like that selling millions of records
Oh,
who are legit. Dr. Dre. And they still got him twice. These are legit guys. Then what is they going to do to your kid
Yeah.
that is so
who
true.
just got a little talent?
So I'm gonna go in another direction.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, Mike Berry was nominated for a Soul Train Award,
Yeah.
which makes me think about when you was doing a Honey Train,
Right.
because I was a part of that.
I was
Yeah.
on the honey
Yeah,
train.
that's when I first met Dennis.
Right.
I was on a Honey Train.
You know where I got all that from?
So how did that transpire?
That came from when we was in Cash. They changed the group from Imaginations to Cash in '77. We was in Los Angeles when they gave us that name. While we were down there, we were recording. We went to a session, And at our session was Don Cornelius from the Soul Train, Dick Griffey, who owned Solar Records, who at that same next year discovered Shalimar.
Right.
And J.J. Johnson, who's originally from Cleveland, ran this national radio show across the country. And they were the only people in our session. And they came to see us. Don took us to Soul Train that next day as his guest. And when we were there, it was people like Peaches and Herb, Enchantment, all these people performed. But the whole time we were there, and what I got to see was how they really put that stuff together, which we didn't know how they do it at home. 3 shows in one day. You see what I'm saying? They got the people. The people ain't getting paid. They got food for them on the side, and that was their payment, like chicken and pops. And I'm watching all this stuff and realizing, wow, it's more to it than what we were seeing on TV.
It's like a slave trade.
So when I got older, well, it's just how you put things together in bulk. 3 shows at a time. You got these kids coming, they getting exposure because that's what Shalimar got discovered on Soul Train. Jody and what's the name danced on there.
Right.
So when I got older and I was doing television, commercials and all that stuff, we always been in videos and stuff, like you said, shot a video. I started realizing, I said, man, ain't nothing new today. And I looked at reality shows before they start popping. Right before Flavor Flav came out, that reality show. What I looked at was I could take just normal girls from what I'm involved with, show business. I could get the entertainers, local, national. I was already doing that. But I could take 6 to 10 girls that just look good and put them in front of the camera and just tell them, just be you and look good and dance and make this into something.
That was me.
So what I did was got normal girls. Nobody had no TV experience. But I saw this happen years ago and said, I can do the same thing right now.
Right.
And that's what I did. And it turned out to be ahead of its time. People all over. It was really too fast because the station I was on at the time, Village TV, was one of the stations. I always had cable and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Village TV had a major audience they could reach, and they kept blocking me for 7 weeks, picking with me about this show. And I couldn't understand it because I'm young in the business. If the people are calling everywhere, we was driving to, was it Cincinnati, and stopped in Columbus, and people stopped me about the Honey Train in a restaurant. And I'm saying to myself, I'm not getting, why is they bothering me? Oh, you got to change this up. The girl shaking, I said, no, they just doing what they do. I said, we ain't exposing nobody's breast or nothing like that. What's the problem? What it was, they were under a grant for that money. And the grant only called for them to do nonprofit stuff up to 3 shows. They didn't tell me this. I had to figure all this out. So they weren't trying to go no further. My thing was bringing too much attention to them. Instead of them telling me, they played with me.
Right.
And got me going. I'm jumping through
I
hoops.
did like 1 episode, and I was like, well, what happened? Like,
What I did was, when I found out, I walked in a meeting, me and I think it was CG, and they didn't know I was coming. They had a table just like this, and their whole staff, probably about 12 people, were sitting around the table. And we walked in, they didn't know I had came in, and they were discussing me. We got to do the same thing Cash do. Now, this out them fighting with the owner. We don't know. This is a problem. They was in a discussion what I was doing, saying we got to up our game to what he doing and all of this stuff, and this is how we got to be. And I walk in and shocked them. And that's when I found out. And I pulled the guy to the side, remember Ronnie Duncan? Put him outside, I said, Ronnie, man, I've been knowing you personally, and you let me walk into this? I said, y'all could have told me I could even accept it. They just told me the truth. So what happened was I gave my last show, and I got out because I figured out a lot of things that's glitter, what they say, everything glitter ain't gold. And I had to figure that out the hard way. Sometimes you can be a little bit too far. And then the next 3 to 6 months, they came out with Flavor Flav and that Flavor Flav show.
But
It's the same concept, and it blew up.
But I remember, the TV stuff you did back in the day. I used to actually deal with Chuck Conway back in the day.
I learned from them guys.
He tried to promote me and everything back in the day when I was trying to rhyme. And I used to do a lot of production in my house. I had like some keyboards and stuff. It wasn't no real good stuff. It wasn't no stuff I would have played on here right now because I wouldn't even play the stuff I did back then. But I remember sending you a tape. because I just knew the name, Dennis Cash.
Yeah,
And I
really?
think I sent you a tape in a regular ass envelope. It just said, just listen to it, please. And
What?
I sent it to you, and I got it back in the mail.
It's return to sender.
I sent that. I did that to like Warner Brothers. I had a connect over at Priority. I was getting like finding names, and I would actually get their numbers and call them. And I bugged this one woman at Priority so bad that we got to know each other so well. But I bugged her so bad. Like, did you get it yet? What you think? She was like, you know what? I don't like it.
Well, she did him a favor because what happens when you send us stuff to? Now I don't know why we didn't get. We could have moved or whatever because I moved a couple of times. It was in Shaker at first, then we moved to Warrensville.
I don't remember.
But what happens when you send tapes to labels? The reason they don't look at them because they can be sued.
Right.
If any elements, they don't have to steal it, but you can say that's my line, and I sent it this date, and they get sued. So they have a thing they won't.
I got some back that just had a stamp on it said not open but returned.
That's why they do that.
Yeah.
So you can never say if somebody came with your hook line somehow.
People always tell me, man, mail your stuff to Oprah. I be like, no, it's gonna go in a box.
That's somebody who told me that though.
Going in a box.
Because I used to deal with Mixmaster Quick back in the day, and then there was a group called YWF. They changed their name after Dead Weight, and we did some production and we did some good music. And then after that, I was like, I can't afford to go to the studio no more, but I got this stuff at the house. So I started making tracks and everything, and I just put together a bunch of stuff. And
You
then,
was making tracks, dude?
oh yeah, I was dope.
I didn't know
I'm
that.
still dope. But it was just But I remember the name Dennis Cash back then, and I know I sent in stuff because I forget what channel you was on, but you had shows on there, and then your name came up, and then like Chuck was trying to get me to do something with Columbia.
Okay.
And we worked with EQ, remember if y'all remember EQ, we did some stuff at EQ, and we made a remix of Ball of Confusion.
Yeah.
And it was dope, but we never pressed it up or nothing. I still got the old, I don't even know if 7-inch reel.
Yeah.
I still got it, and
7-inch.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we gonna pause for a little bit, take this quick break. When we come back, we gonna talk more about Mike Berry, Dennis Cash. We gonna even play a game. I might throw a game in there.
I got some
Oh, don't
questions,
forget
but
to
I
mention
got some
it.
questions.
And don't
Oh,
forget
we definitely about to mention that. We about to mention that because we veered all off. We talking, we vibing. This is what you do on the Vibe on Air. You vibe. You got to vibe on the Vibe on Air. But it is the vibe. Mr. D's Open Mike King, Poison Ivy in the building. 216-255-0611. Make sure y'all hitting us up on the website, www.thevibeonair. We're going to be right back with some more The Vibe on Air. Dennis Cash, Mike Berry, Poison Ivy. Her belly showing. She ain't got no abs, though. She flat with no abs. That's called flabs.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
We're going to be right back in a little bit. I'm going to play a little Cat Daniil. Applause. I'm going to play applause. And then I'm going to play The Way. The Poison going to get on my nerves. It's the vibe. Did you just... The things they say on the air. It's the vibe, y'all. Stay tuned in, Facebook. We ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. Y'all can look at that.
It's not my fault that you're perfect, and I want you just for me. I blame God for making you so beautiful, nicest thing I ever seen. Your daddy raised
Army Marchina. We're going to play this other one called The Way.
I rack my brain, trying to understand you, trying to figure you out. What are you all about? But you're such an enigma, more like a figment to my imagination, but you're all too real. You're like poison coursing through my veins. You're the cause of all my pleasure and pain. You're a blessing and a curse, and what's worse is I love you. I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. I love you, I love you. I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. I love you, I love you. Your life is dangerous. It's on the edge, and that's where you'll find me, holding your hand, ready and willing to jump. Cause you said that we're gonna fly. Can't worry about what's down below, cause your loving gets me so high. I know this must sound crazy, and none of this makes sense, but I just don't know what else to do. I just love you. I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. I love you, I love you. I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. I love you, I love you. Your demons, I'll fight them. Your wrongs, yeah, I'll right them. I'll go down to hell just to get you back. You know I got your back like that. I'll go into heaven and plead your case. Wash your sins away. That's what I'll do, cause I love you just the way you are. 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 I love you. I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. I do, I do.
Yo, we back up on it. It's the Vibe on Air. Mr. D's the open mic king. Poison Ivy. We in the building with Mike Berry, Dennis Cash, and we're just getting a lesson in the industry on the Cleveland side, because, you know, they try to say Cleveland the black hole, but they don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know. Now, before I talk about some things and talk back to Mike and Dennis, you know, I got this, like, one thing I like to do. So, I'm going to just go right into it. We're going to play a game. The game is called, What Does It Mean? What does it mean? What it is that we're going to give you ghetto words or ghetto sayings that only you should know if you're black and grow up black, and you should be able to answer them. Thank you.
That band sounded pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know who it was.
Come out that back room.
It's, you know, it's the fake band.
The fake man.
They call it the fake band. We're going to start with Mr. Cash and see right here in the first seat. The first word will be pearl. Pearl. You have so much time to answer.
Lucy Pearl. The meaning of pearl. Yellow slang.
No, sir. I wouldn't give it to him. I would not.
Mike Berry, can you take this answer?
Pearl, man, we about to leave.
To leave. That is correct, Mike Berry. To pearl.
So I was the only one thinking good of mine.
We go pearl after the show.
I think it's like Cincinnati and Dayton. That's skating. We was pearling.
Yeah, it used to pearl. They used to say,
Y'all so old school. I was thinking about something totally different.
Yes.
We about to pearl.
we about to pearl. That used to be back in the day. We about to pearl.
I was thinking about Jameson Wild Whiskey. That's what I was
So you think about something else.
going on to the next one.
The next word is, it rhymes with pearl. It is Earl. Dennis Cash, we're going to start with you.
That is.
Oh, wrong one. Wrong beat.
Earl, used to be you got to throw up.
That is correct, Dennis
That's
Cash.
good. That is so
Earl, to call Earl.
good.
Throw
That's
up.
good.
All right, now I'm going to get something current real quick. The word is, and this goes to Mike Berry, squad. Of course, everybody knew that one.
That
That
was
was easy.
easy.
All right, you give him one.
I ain't got one. That was easy though. I'm thinking.
All right, I'm going to give you another easy one. This one goes to Dennis Cash. This is an easy one.
I want to know where I'm at in these streets.
Damn, I just lost it. Hold on. No, here it go. For Sheezy.
He got that. That's what it is.
Judges,
That is what it is. Yes, that is what it is.
it's actually for sure.
I got one for Mike.
Okay, Mike
You ready?
Berry, here's your word.
Fleek.
The word is
It's like on fly on point.
You
You know,
got that.
I'm going to give one to Dennis Cash because he ain't going to get this one if I give it to him. You ready, Dennis?
Yeah.
Your term. Notice I ain't say word.
What is it?
Your term is skirt, skirt.
The car can stop. Skirt. I only made that up because you got it. Mike knows.
Mike Berry.
that ain't no slang though. That's something out of one song. Don't nobody
That's
say
out of a million songs now.
that. Everybody saying that now? I don't even know.
That's
about
skirt.
It's
That's
to
the way.
peel off, but
Peel off.
it's a new ad lib in
Oh,
every
skirt?
rhyme. Yeah, the skirt.
I
but
know.
now all the rappers in every hook, skirt, skirt.
Okay, well I got one close to it.
We finna skirt. I mean, we skirted out.
That means you ready to take off on.
Mhm.
I
Skirt,
got
skirt.
who did he didn't get that?
Nope.
Okay, so
Neither
Mike
one of
Ray,
them
I
did.
got one. It's close to it.
Okay.
Swerve.
Ah, swerve.
Swerve. Like get my swerve on, get my boogie on, get my swerve on, my get down,
You gotta move around somebody. You gotta move around them. You gotta move around them. You doing you gotta move around.
You swerving them.
gotta
You
swerve.
swerving.
You gotta swerve.
Wait.
Yeah, you got.
No, but hold on, though.
You gotta swerve on it.
Hold on, D. In our day,
Our day it was different.
But
Yeah,
But
get
you
our
can't
swerve on.
say the word, Mike. You gotta say another word.
I don't get my boogie on.
Yeah, I'm about to get my groove on.
Yeah, gonna get out the way.
Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Houston, okay, I got one for you.
Oh, we ain't never had
You got one for
us.
me?
What's the Houston word for swerve?
I have no idea. You gotta get this thing.
First word is move.
Move.
We.
Ain't over.
I can't. I know.
Move back.
Move around.
Move around.
Move around.
Okay.
I was about to say swang.
Okay.
I got one more word. Let's see. What was it? I just had it in my head too. It was a good one. It was an old school one.
I got one. Cause it's present.
This gonna be the
real
final
present.
one too. Go
It's
ahead.
real present, and y'all so like into TV and all that. So if y'all don't know this,
This gonna
I
be the
know
final
one
one.
thing.
Starting with Dennis.
What is shade,
Ooh.
Dennis? You better shut up, Mike. What's shade? I've got one for you.
What is?
You better know what shade is. What's shade? Ooh, she's shady.
No, that's not the same.
That is the same.
That's
'cause
not
it's-
the same. That's not the same.
Okay, ooh, she throwing shade. What is
There you
throwing
go.
shade?
That's better.
Nope.
Mm,
It's not blocking. It's not blocking. Nope. It's hate. That's what it is.
it's hate.
Shade is hate.
I give him that.
Shade.
Shady
Okay.
is something else.
Okay.
You said you had one more for him?
All right, Mike. I know you got this since you had shade in a bag. What's tea? Give me some tea.
Tea?
Uh-huh.
Tea baby?
No.
She familiar with that, but
Shut the hell up.
Tea, what's that?
Tea. Give me some tea. Or what's the tea? What's the tea?
it's gossip.
Yes, gossip. Yeah.
Gossip.
Yeah,
Gossip.
tea, yeah.
I'm sipping
Yeah.
my tea.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. What's the T? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Kermit the
Yeah.
Frog. That was.
Hey, you got my name on the wrong side.
I know y'all sat on the wrong side. It's been like that the whole show. Don't worry about it. That was. What does it mean?
If the world don't know who Mike Berry and Dennis Cash is, they need help.
I'm gonna just say it now. That's Dennis Cash.
He like Switcher. He like Switcher.
All right, so I pre-did the graphic before y'all got here. I told
Right, but you know that's real because Mike, technically, you was supposed to sit there.
Yeah, you technically was. You was the first one here. You was supposed to
Y'all
sit
gonna
there.
have people thinking Mike got on crack or something.
Nah.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. So I'm gonna talk about this real quick, and then we're gonna hop back into some more Mike Berry info. But we got the celebrity ball game, the street ball live on August 19th, 2 p.m. Tell us about it, man.
Well, just something we do for the community where we try to do different things from the form of entertainment, such as music, and then we dipped into sports to give back to kids and their families. The whole ideal is to try to get families to come out together. You know, how you can get grandma to come out and hang out with the little ones or
Right.
mother. Because I don't think we do enough of that today with our kids. Everybody's on their own. People are so into themselves, what they're doing, and I think that's missed. It ain't nothing like going out and having a great time with your family.
Right.
So what we do is bring guys in to do anything to kind of take the relief off the violence that happens in the communities, and at least give people a chance to have a day where they can just have fun and do some things. So with our back to school jam, we were blessed to get several organizations to participate, Dress for Success, Donate Life Bank, Hire Foster Care, Buckeye Health to help give away school supplies, coats for kids, shoes for women, just stuff to show, hey, we understand. We like to do things and make people have a great time if they come and maybe take something back that they can remember. And on top of that, they get a chance to meet a lot of these guys personal. We have some halftime performances. London Arrington from the hit TV show Empire, actor from the movie Fences. She's only 10. She's going to do something for us at halftime. We got Oaks and Hayes, who's managed by Matthew Knowles Record Company, New World Music. Is that, I always get that name kind of. Is that what it's saying? New World Music down at the bottom? Sometimes I screw up a lot of names.
I'm 44 and don't wear glasses. So
Oh, okay.
I can't say.
You see, I put it on him to strain his eyes.
Right.
But at any rate, correct me if I might be. I always sometimes get the name flipped around. So forgive me on that if I did. But they're coming in from Houston, Texas. They got a brand new song out called "The Merriweather," which they're doing in tribute to Merriweather's fight coming up.
Okay.
And he took them under their wing to do. Hopefully, they play the song during the fight, which will do great things for them.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
But they'll be flying in from Los Angeles. I got several guys flying in from Los Angeles that day. And, it's a good thing to be able to pull together, entertainers and have them come in and cut down on the cost and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
To what it takes. Because these dudes, they charge money and, cost to put them up and fly them in. And, my cost is a blessing. What I cost, I have to keep that revealed. But I earned that to be able to get to guys and work it out and plus understanding what I'm actually giving them to make it terms of where it's worth their while. Like when I brought Matthew Knowles in here back in May, Matthew Knowles charged about $20,000 just to do sit downs. And the people I went through, I got relationships with guys in New York that knew him from previous business that I've been dealing with for years. And once they got me a phone call with his people and I talked to him, it was like talking to you guys. And my message is simple to anybody in show business, no matter who it is. We after the same thing.
Yeah.
You need Cleveland, you know what I'm saying? Just like somebody need Los Angeles.
Right.
Here's the key. 2 ways you can get it. You can come in and get it yourself, which they gonna charge you. Or you can get it through me and you ain't gonna charge me.
So you've been doing this for a while, Dennis. I know, and I've seen commercial after commercial when it comes to stuff like this. I used to be a praise dancer. People probably don't know that. So what made you incorporate? Yes, I did. I was praising.
No
yes, I was.
Well, the
What
praise
made you
dance
incorporate that?
that's a different day. That's the day before. Usually when I do big events, I turn it into 2-3 days.
Yeah.
So
So what made you add that?
Well, I was at church one day, and this is right before I decided to do the celebrity ball game. I'm sitting up watching. I just went to a funeral for Delana DeFreeze. And I'm looking up there seeing Alana, all of these praise dances at a funeral, right? So everywhere I'm going, some form, there's people praise dance. So I thought about, I was at church with my son. I said, do you know that there's a praise dancer in every church, just about, or a team? And I said, but there's nothing out there where people acknowledge it outside it just exists. So why don't I say I could put together an idea that probably would make sense. I said, now, I don't know how it's going to do, but I know the people, it clicks and they like it. And I said, what I would do is kind of honor them, recognize them. Hey, we're going to do some reference to that. You got your plethora of people that can come from anywhere, you know, from Akron, Canton, if they choose to do so. And I just thought it was a good thing to recognize. Instead of it being a talent show, you recognize because they got their own culture. And anybody can get it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you from different music, but you probably still go to church and you probably acknowledge that. So that's why we came up with that. Initially, I was going to have a contest with it. Actually, the trophy came in today. But speaking to a lot of praise, because it's not my field, I'm not really a gospel entertainer guy, just familiar with it. But that's not really my field. What I did find out after time was a lot of the praise dancers didn't want to compete. They just wanted to do it for the spirit of God. And I'm like, I want to give away $500 for this. And nobody wants it. Let's pocket that back and we do what they want.
Yeah, put that back.
Because it was like, I couldn't believe it. But at the same token, I kind of understand what they're saying. So I got it. So we changed the television commercials to Praise Dance Festival.
Yeah, that's dope. So, Mike, you shot my first video.
Oh, sorry.
Hold
Before
on,
you go to
hold
Mike, we never did get a date.
Oh, what's the date?
The date for the Street Ball Live, the Back to School Jam, is on August 19th at 2 p.m. And the Praise Dance Festival, not competition, is, I can't see. Oh, August 18th at 6 p.m. at Great Works COGIC, which is on 148th in St. Clair, Cleveland. Tickets are $10. Make sure you get them. They're going to have Half Mile Home and Vast Inspiration performing. And at the street ball game, man, it's going to be crazy because they got White Chocolate, they got Springs, they got my man High Octane, and Spider, of course, he's going to be there. It's quite a few people, and then, you know, the performance from the people he said already. It's going to be dope. That's going to be at the Wilson Center. No, that's
Shaw High.
Oh, Shaw High. It's going to be at Shaw High. I'm from Glenville. We don't go to Shaw High. Went to Glenville. No, but Shaw High, they're going to be doing it there, and it's going to be dope. It's going to be a dope event. So make sure y'all get tickets for this. But both events, one is on Friday, one is on Saturday. You don't want to miss out. I mean, both good for the community, both good for your soul, especially praise dancing.
Yeah.
And I know some praise dancers, and I'm going to make sure they know about this tomorrow.
Beautiful. And if they need additional information, just call my hotline, my cell phone number, 216-324-4802. Same number I have for years, 216-324-4802. And I'll get you what you need to answer your question.
I'm going to have to talk to you about a McDonald's sponsorship because every time I see McDonald's on something, I just think cha-ching.
Think about a Big Mac.
Well,
so, Mike, you shot my first video ever. I've been an artist all my life. And you shot my first video in 2014. Everything good. So, were you like, because I know you're doing the movies now, and what made me interested in you to shoot my video is the whole movie effect. I saw a video that you did. I can't, her
Chief.
name. It's not, yeah.
Chief.
Yeah, so that, I was like, damn, you know, that's the look I'm going for. So were you, when you came in, were you more into videos and you got into movies, or were you always movies but you just did video? Would you go back to video, being that you work with, you know, national artists now? Like, would you still do local videos for artists? Or
I mean, I don't really like videos. I like movies.
Yeah, I could tell by how
Yeah,
you,
I
all
like
the
movies.
videos
I
you've
mean,
ever done, yeah.
I shot a couple videos for people, but like I tell people, when you get that camera, everybody be like, I can shoot anything. That's not necessarily true. Because I get people be like, he can't shoot. I don't like his videos, but I'll shoot a circle around you in a movie because you shoot videos. The edited, the cinematic language is totally different.
It is. You did my video, and I got inboxes with people saying, "Oh, damn, who did that video?" Or, "I need to make my videos like
Yeah,
that."
they
Like
can
you
tell a
did, like a
story.
you like you did like a movie, like you told like us, and everybody thought that was my treatment. That was my concept. No, that was Mike Berry. I wrote the song, and Mike Berry came up with the treatment. So, like, yeah, You've always been movie oriented, I would say.
I don't do like ass shaking.
You go
videos.
real deep. You go real
If
deep.
you just want to like jump around and throw money, I ain't shooting that.
Even Banger though.
But
Banger
the one thing
was
about
deep
you, Mike,
because
that I noticed.
Banger,
Go ahead.
Banger was about what, like the dead twin brother, and
it was a
that was
twin.
deep.
Yeah, that was
My
twin.
video had a demon in it.
You
know
have
what I'm
more
saying?
of a conscious feel to you than
Yeah.
anything. You don't want to just do it just because the hood.
I ain't doing
You know,
that.
some people want to keep everything hood because they scared to expand. They self.
Well, you got to understand your brand.
And
You
not
know what I'm
only
saying?
that,
Like this, that's not my brand.
Right.
And now that money ain't gonna change my life.
Right.
So 300, 400, 500, you know what I mean? Because the days of $75,000 videos is long gone. You know what I'm saying? 7,500 is long gone. You know what I mean? Cats is shooting, and I'm just protective of my brand. I shoot what's reflective of what I want you to get from me.
Right.
well, I will speak on behalf of Mike. When I met Mike, he hadn't got in the video. He was one of the best rappers in the city, and they were real
Gang.
good. They were real
That's
good.
because I hadn't came out yet,
Big
though. But go ahead.
gang.
But they were real good at what they did. They put a lot of work into what they did, and they were legitimate artists. But when Mike got in the video, he used the same approach to the video that he did with his craft. Now, in defense of Michael, what happened was when technology changed, it allowed anyone can do a video. However, anyone that can do video, that just meant what it was. It's watered down. So most people can do it. They just shoot whatever, and it can be a video. With him being from the real true part, when he got in, he had to deal with the real stuff, and how you even got your attention. He can't let that go.
Man, when
so
I
he won't
tell
sell
you-
out to just be.
Yeah, I can't.
You can shoot videos all day long, but it's not going to.
You got to be true to yourself no matter
When
what.
I tell
What
you,
you feel inside
that
is what
Mike,
it is.
Mike, it was so cold. Oh my God. It was so cold. Mike Gank, whatever y'all want to call him, he climbed up on the the railroad track, and he beamed me from, like, he climbed, like literally mountain climbed.
Yeah.
To like just exclusive. Your work is extraordinary.
And I got to tell you,
Extraordinary.
you must be able to really work a camera because
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're able to make her look reasonable, it's just phenomenal. I mean, what camera?
Yeah, but you know, I come from a different place. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, you can put Pro Tools in your house for like $349.
Oh yeah.
I remember I flew out to LA to hang out with Ron Keys, and Pro Tools was $20,000.
$20,000.
It's $349 now.
And
when
if
he
you go to
showed
Tri-C,
me-
it's free.
When he showed me, I was like, dude, non-destructive editing. Like you could just hit undo.
Yeah.
Cause back when we was going to the studio, you mess up, start
over. So are you?
You can get
still-
Pro
are
Tools.
are
You can get
still
Pros
in
2 for free if you know
Tri-C
about
right
BitTorrents.
now?
but-
You're not. You're done.
No,
You're done with it?
yeah, I kind of got what I needed to
You
get.
got what you needed,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
20,000.
$20,000.
Yeah, it was the same thing like what you guys got your setup.
Yeah.
This setup you got in here might have been a couple $100,000.
Yeah,
back in the
for
day.
this.
I spent
But
some
you got,
money.
I mean, just think of
Technology.
a flash drive,
Yeah. Yeah.
a 1
Gig.
terabyte flash drive that holds 1,000,000 songs, $59. I worked at H.H. Gregg. I remember when a 16 megabyte drive
Cost like
was
$59.
$200.
Yeah, I remember when they first came out. Yeah.
You're talking about
right.
putting about 100 songs. Now you could put
Yeah.
60,000 million on there for.
But that's
half-
like when you used to go to the studio and you had to get a DAT tape.
yeah, the DAX.
And the
That's
DAT was how
all
much
right.
to get
Yeah,
one DAT tape?
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, but you know, like this is what I tell young artists, anybody out there that's working. You could be one of two things. You could be into music, or you could be in the music business. They're two different
Yeah,
things.
those are two.
You could
very
be all
different
into
things.
music. You could be doing all this, but if you're not into the business of it,
Right.
because it's a bunch of show, but it's
90%
even
business,
more
10%
business.
music.
That's-
If you can't,
That's right.
if you can't understand, like this, is what I tell people, like I politic, right? Just picture this, your skill, right? That's the diving board. And you want to dive into the water. The water, you want to make a splash. That's the marketplace. A lot of people, so they go out to the diving board, they try to make a splash, but after so long, you can only make so big of a splash.
Exactly.
What people don't understand, you can't change the water.
Nope.
Yeah.
You can't change the diving board. The only thing you can do is take your diving board and put it on a different platform. So you got to politic with people, but that's the problem with Cleveland cats is, like, say, Poison Ivy is higher than me. But no, I'm going to take my diving board, which is on the 3 meter, and I'm going to put it up on her 10 meter, and I'm going to make a bigger splash. But people don't want to do that. They want to just fight it and get there by themselves.
Yeah.
So people tell me all the time, Mike, why you shouldn't work with him. Dude, it's good business to work with him.
Yeah.
It's good business
Mike,
to work
that brings
with
to
him.
the
Isn't
point.
most of the business you do, it comes from other situations?
It come from other
I'm
situations.
telling
It's
you.
like, that's the business period. Business come from referrals.
Locals in here.
They come from referrals. But
Let's
that
be
brings up a
some
thing.
logos.
They come to the thing I was watching yesterday. I really don't watch reality TV, but I was watching the show Signed. They got
Somebody just told me about
Rick Ross and The Dream and Jay-Z right hand man. And they had one kid that they actually voted off. Young dude, he a singer.
Javoti.
But yeah, Javoti. And they found out he wrote like a bunch of songs for some of the other people and just helped them with their music. So the dude came to him and said, "Look, I know we voted you off, but you actually got some talent and you got more work, you can write and everything. So how about this? Instead of us kicking you off the show, why don't you just become an intern for us and we teach you how to A&R and you can learn the real side of the business. You can just follow us and you'll be part of the show as our assistant, or you can re-audition and we'll put you back in the contest." He thought about it, but his best move was to take that A&R position and be the intern because now you learning the business, you learning the backhand, and you got
That's what Mike
3
said
people mentoring
earlier.
you.
That's what he said earlier. It's 2 ways to be in.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because a lot of artists, especially Cleveland artists, are not going to take that. They want to be seen. They want
be
because
seen.
as soon as they think they make a record and they do one show or whatever, it's the ego come out.
Yeah.
The record is not made in the back office. It's made in the front office.
It's made in the front office.
We can go in the back and vibe out tracks all day.
Yeah.
But if you ain't got a hammer in that front office, ain't nothing shaking.
I don't want to
That's
be
right.
the artist that's
Boring.
working for you. I want to be the artist, the person that's making you work.
You can throw see, a lot of these artists is getting saved by the internet. When I came in, it was not
it was
even a
none.
such thing as
I'm
the
not
internet.
even
Like I
that
said, I was
old.
snail mailing
I'm
records
not-
and did his
I'm not even
cash.
that old. I'm not even that old in the platform. If I would have had what we got now, Instagram and I mean Facebook was popping. I was the first Facebooker when you had to be in college to be on Facebook. That was like 2005.
Oh, yeah, it did, back
2006.
when Facebook was
But
strictly for
when
college.
I first started, when I was like 13, doing all these festivals and stuff, if it was like social media, man, I would be so.
Now, how old are you? 45?
And plus,
No, I'm not 40,
now,
I'm not nowhere near my 40s, hunty.
plus now with the whole reality show,
Yeah.
you can make up yourself. Back then, you had to get on that stage and get it
And get it,
Yeah.
and get. That's why I'm
You
the
had
best
to
performer.
get it
You
in.
had
But
to.
now
'Cause I had to
people
get it in.
make their image up. You couldn't lie, dude.
All you gotta do
a
is-
lot of times we didn't even know what these people looked like. Because you couldn't afford, everybody couldn't afford to put posters on a pole.
Yep.
You
Our
couldn't-
thing was the what? The calling post. You make it to the calling post, you good. You good.
Just to think about the Ghetto Boys, they first record came out and they sold millions without a video.
Yeah.
They didn't barely have radio play, but people found out about them just through word of mouth and listening. Same thing with NWA. It took them a while before they had a video. And that's the thing. When the videos started coming out, then all of a sudden, they start getting bigger. But in Cleveland, we never had none of that. We still was either you got on 107.9 or 93 FM,
Yeah.
or you
And
did
that
shows.
And that was over 15 years ago when you got on there. Because you
Yeah.
ain't getting on there now.
Yeah.
But I will say this.
You ain't getting
if-
on there
if-
now.
If you guys allow me to say this, the thing about all this technology that you guys talk about and the great things with the social media, it made artists lazy.
Yeah.
Because when y'all was out, Mike, I use it for example, and even ourselves, we knew we really could sell a record because you had to do it. You had to literally go out and sell records. Today, people are convinced that if I put a record on SoundCloud, that's just as good as you selling a record. There's only one difference. That makes sense to me. When you sell that album, you might have got $10. He throws his album on SoundCloud
Giving
and don't
out
get,
free
and don't get a
music.
penny.
He giving
Yeah,
out free
and the same thing
music.
with iTunes. They think if they put it on iTunes, I'm immediately about to sell.
Nah.
You got to still do
Robert
work.
Robert Stable said, "What's up, Big Mike?"
What's up, Rob? That's my baby. That's my
it.
homie.
Yeah, that's the old school. We used to work together back in the day.
Yeah. Well, Rob was crazy. Rob was there.
Yeah, Rob. Me and Rob
He was
used to talk about making beats and try to do that
He was
stuff
on-
back
he
when we
was on
worked.
tour with me. I
When
mean,
we worked at Verizon back in the day.
But you know, like another thing that artists gotta understand is yo, why, man? Why you doing this? If you chasing the money, you listen here. If I took you out to shark-infested waters and told you jump in, you not. But if I threw your child in there,
You going
you
after
going in. So my point is, if you just chasing some money, but if this what you do, it's like throwing your child. This what I do.
Yep.
I like so. Dennis been doing this a long time, longer than me, and he ain't quote unquote there. I'm 20 years and I ain't there. But what else I'm gonna do?
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you like this.
So this what I do.
Right.
This what he do.
And
I got a
there's
perfect-
different levels.
And
though.
it's different levels.
I got a perfect example of what you just
Yeah,
said.
it's different levels.
For
You're
everyday life. You know, I'm a bail bondsman, and you know, my job is getting people out of jail. I also teach the classes for people who want to become bail bondsmen. And in my class, one of the first things I tell people is this: if you want to get in this business just for the money, you need to get out. Because you're doing yourself a disservice. Just writing bonds just to get money is not doing anything. Because you can write a bunch of bad bonds and kill a business. You for real. Because people run and people don't go to court. You have to write bonds for the purpose of trying to maintain and survive, and have longevity. That's the word I'm looking for, longevity. Because if you just write bonds and get people out, but you're not writing them to say, okay, are you going to go to court and do people sign and go make sure you're going to court? You got to look at all the, it's too many variables in everything to think about. If you're just thinking, oh, well, I'm going to get this money. I've been doing this show for 2 years, and we trying to get money. Of course, I want to get money and fund my show, but I do it because this is what I love.
You like to do it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying about it when I said different levels. Success doesn't have to be success to
Monetary,
where you think, oh, he just did this great, the biggest movie of all time.
Success could be in your
comes
heart.
It might
in
not
different
even be
levels
successful
because
to you,
every
yeah.
move you do
Yep.
is a form of success.
Because that's
form of
like you,
success.
Mike Berry. Okay, so you did Banger with what's
Cuba
that?
Gooding.
Oh, my
Yeah.
Gooden and Cuba
what's
Gooden.
that? What's
Clifton Powell.
Yeah, Clifton Powell. So people might think like, oh shoot, Mike done
Pinky.
made it.
Nah,
That's just
But
that's
to
the-
you,
that's the steps
but to
he's gotta
you,
go,
it's
right.
like, oh, this ain't nothing.
Well,
I
you
put
know
it.
what? It was that right there was good because I understand what the universe do. Like you
Right.
know, man, I was sitting in a prison, and you know what I mean. I ain't gonna get out of here. I was facing 35 to 75. I ended up doing 7 years. So to say, look at Clifton Powell and say action, it was some success
That's
in that.
bad.
Yeah, that's
Mike.
some real stuff,
And
though.
then you,
Success in that.
and then
That's real stuff.
what did you do? You did, was it 2 shows?
I did 1,600 people in one
You
day.
sold out though.
1,600.
Was it both of your shows were sold out?
1,600 people in one day.
Yeah, because
That's
my
dope.
late ass
They
couldn't get
did
the
that.
first ticket. I had to get
And,
this.
and I was the first. I'm the first person I ever seen show. I showed 1,800 commercials.
Yeah.
On Time Warner Cable for Banger.
That was
1,800.
That's
cold.
So
Mike.
you know, you can't take that from me. You know
That
what I'm
was
saying?
cold.
But I don't be caught up on it because I understand that ain't it.
Yep.
To me, I make it when I can employ 40 of my friends. And when
Yeah.
I mean employ, I don't mean just pay you to sweep the floor.
You
I
doing
mean-
something.
And I don't want you working for somebody else who don't
You
give a
mean
shit
Tyler
about you.
Tyler Perry?
Watch it,
Yeah.
watch it, watch it.
Oh yeah, like you know, I
Yeah.
want people. That's what I want to do.
But you want it to be real.
I want it to be real. Like
You
these
have a
is
real
my dudes.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these my dudes, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like I got into the bail bond business, and you know, I pay for ads in Horizon, and I did the front cover of the Horizon. People was calling me, congratulating me, like, "Yeah, man, you made it." I was like, "Dude, I paid $500."
Right, Horizon been around forever.
It ain't like Ebony called me and said, but I guess the Horizon was the Cleveland Ebony, so they thought I must have did something. Like you
so
famous
Cash,
now.
what you think about movies? What's your intake on ever getting in movies or your artists that you promote? Do you want to, trying to push them to get into
I'm
film,
trying to
or
get
you want to just
a
do
acting
music
job, by the way.
thing?
Look out for your boy.
As people in entertainment, you try to get in any form of
Any form
thing
of
that reaches
entertainment. That's a
people,
real
whether it's
entertainer.
music, whether it's movies, because as he said, it's called the entertainment business.
Yep.
The business is not set up to where it's only what I want to do. Because I'll give you a great example. The little girl that I'm working with now, her name is London. Yeah, working with her, I met them through that first event I did, and it basically went down because some people that was working, I won't mention their names, said they didn't want to work with them no more. And I asked them for surely twice, are you sure you want to do that? This girl is in one of the biggest TV shows in the country, and she was in a major movie, one of the biggest artists, and you're saying you don't want to do nothing with them? He said, Cass, I said, well, sometimes if they're young, they don't know yet. Remember what we talked about? They can only go by what they've learned. I said, but if you understand, they don't know the level you on, don't panic.
Yeah.
You keep doing what you're going to do, they got to rise.
Right.
And he told me, no, when I say I'm done, I'm done. All right. 2 days later, the girl tracked me down on the internet, said, was I Dennis Cash, because she hadn't heard from me, and they still want to do my event. I said, yeah, come on down, we'll do it. So we all wound up in the same place, everybody, including the person that made the statement. He didn't speak to him. I didn't know they was going through this beef or whatever it was, so I'm running my show. The next 2 days, the girl called me back saying, look, I'm looking for somebody to possibly work with me because I'm fresh in the business. We got a lot of things going on, but I'm be honest, I don't know it like that. And I did a couple of questions about you, and people kind of recommend if you're going to do something, do it with cash. And I said, okay, give me about 3-4 days when I recover from this show, and we'll talk. And I know this was potential stuff, but when we met, talked to, I did arrangement with them to do some business with them, help them with the business. But found out that the girl can actually sing.
That was my next question. Like,
so the industry don't know that.
Yeah.
So my point to you when we were saying, do you look at it to be this what I'm saying? You take the opportunities that you can get.
So you're not even opposed to the age. You like whoever got the talent, I'm there.
No, age had nothing to do with it. The bottom line is the little girl can't sing.
Yeah, and with you, Mike, what was the question?
And obviously she professionally represented.
Well, yeah, that's true. She was represented, but the point was when I was talking to them, they already was in the acting before I met them. I ain't tripping. They was gonna do that whether with me or not. Remember, these people's in a major movie. They already got their foot in the door. Because you walk her in, everywhere I go and just tell somebody, oh, that was a little girl in Empire. They know what she is. Yep. That ain't me. That's being blessed to be with some people that got something already going. But what I did know is nobody has a clue this little girl can sing.
Exactly.
I'm not talking about somebody that you think she really can sing. So I said I was more interested on that end. Yeah. Because knowing that field and knowing she's already out there, if you can come up with the right song on this girl, they're going to do what it do. And it's not that big of a deal. So my whole thing was sitting down talking to mom and explaining that to her, the purpose and why we would do it. And it's a simple thing. You can do it on your own, what you understand, which they did. And I said, you got to take what it took me years to learn.
Right.
Or you can get with somebody who know the game, know players in the game, and understand how it works, and we can do this process like just do it. It's what we do. So she agreed to it.
Mike, okay, so the Skip Thomas project. Now, I'm kind of like, so I'm kind of confused. So what is, like how there, it's like Kevin Hart has his own production company. Tyler Perry has his own production company. I thought Skip Thomas is that your production company? Okay, so
because when you sent me that email, I thought it was somebody else. I'm like,
even
I heard the name
even
Skip
though
Thomas.
You shot my video and it was like, so that's your thing. Yeah. So you want that to be like super big.
My question is,
like
who is Skip Thomas?
My uncle.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Right.
Well, most people that's successful guys with business, when they start reaching another level, you don't title everything you.
Yeah.
Right.
First of all,
I didn't know if that was a pseudonym or not.
The common sense thing.
I didn't know that.
And you know what the first common sense thing is? If you do that, people start thinking you got an ego problem. So if you do it in steps to where everything becomes a separate entity, first of all, it shows maturity, credibility, and then what it also does legally, it's the right thing to do because he separated his business.
Yeah,
because I know a performer who does that, and they book they don't have a manager, but they made up a email with a fake manager's name to promote themselves because they don't want people to think that
it's them.
They doing them. So
you lose
they
credibility automatically.
Like she might have an email for Mike Turgill, which is really just her promoting herself. So it is a good move. You got to have representation, and you don't want everybody to know that you are doing it on your own.
Directly to him, if he got a production company, which he does, and these different things, then people have to respect his business. Right. But if you can skip all of them, get directly to him, then people gonna treat it like
no pun intended.
Yeah, they don't.
They
most
take
people
it
call me
seriously.
Skip. They be like Skip.
So,
yeah, because I said,
so
I'm like,
you said you want to get to the point where you hiring,
and
your
that's
own
who I got
people,
as a
right?
friend on Facebook, Skip Thomas.
How close are you to that? To like, this is my squad, because Adam Sandler's, all the people that work with him in the same movie, Tyler Perry, all the people that work with him.
Let me tell you something about that.
So how close are you, or like where are you with that?
Gotta have a team, but
where are you with? Because I'm trying to be a part of that team.
I'm trying to get on too. I'm an actor.
Yeah,
well,
I'm funny.
One thing I learned.
I'm hilarious.
We good.
One thing I learned though is you know, this is my dream. It ain't everybody's dream.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a lot of friends, but I only have a few who have the skill set needed to even be sitting at this table we got.
Say that.
That's
You know,
true.
That's real.
Unfortunately, you could be my best friend, but if you don't have the skill set,
Right.
you know, and
This is what you tell him, Mike. This is what you tell him
Sit
right
your
here.
dumb ass down.
But
If
I
you
will
step
say
out of
this.
line, you
I
have to
will
tell
say
them that.
this. It's like a football team. I'm the quarterback. I'm quarterbacking this.
Right.
Whoever
With a
putting up the money,
championship ring.
They the
you
coach.
the owner, the coach or the owner. Now, my friends, your position is gonna be based on your skill set. Now, I already know what y'all want to play: receiver or running back. Nobody wants to play center, guard, or tackle. But if you don't have a skill set, you got to protect me by playing center, guard, or tackle.
And depending, they might have to sell peanuts.
So the running back, listen. And if you a real idiot, but you my dude, you got to get your pom-poms.
Gotta get your pom-poms out.
you
Okay.
got cheerlead. Boom.
But you
Wait.
still with the team.
You still with the team,
And you
but you
just
gotta
as
shake them
happy.
pom-poms.
When we go to the Super Bowl, you think the water
You
boy
get a
ain't happy?
championship
Okay,
too.
You
okay,
think the water
okay.
boy
So
And
ain't
sometimes you got
speaking
the
of-
cousin that got to play towel boy.
Right. So speaking
They all
of,
get a championship ring in the end.
Since
Exactly.
we didn't got on football and the Browns played
Oh my
today,
God, why you gonna do this?
I'm not gonna hate on them. I'm gonna say, what do
You-
y'all think they gonna do? Did they do something? What
They
time?
good for about 3 this year.
Are you a Browns
What y'all
fan?
think they
Don't say
gonna
you a
do?
Pittsburgh fan. I just
I'm Browns, but they good for about
What are
4.
you, Dennis? What you?
Well, you know, by heart, I'm a Browns fan, but
Right.
due to their
Morally.
Due to the what? Because I feel you.
He said morally.
due to their,
Do what? The lack of
It's
of,
a existential
of,
thing
lack
now.
of what, Dennis?
you know, just the ownership, not
Lack of-
necessarily ownership, but people not know how to pick
It's a-
players.
Uh-huh.
The reality is,
I'ma turn your mic off, Poison.
I don't
Whatever.
blindly just follow them just because I understand that. Okay, it's the same old stuff,
Yeah.
and they ain't there
It
yet.
ain't
I'm
gonna
a
change.
Cleveland diehard fan. I'm sorry,
gonna
and I'm
change.
a stick with them no matter what
These
because
I'm
damn
I
always
ain't.
be with them, but
These
I ain't gonna
damn
force
Browns
myself
ain't
to
gonna
watch
do
the
nothing.
game.
Oh, I don't watch
I'ma
most of the
tell
games.
you, and
Like-
I'ma tell
I don't
Mike,
watch most of the
Let me
games.
ask you
Browns
this.
ain't gonna
I
do
watch
nothing.
all the season. I watch most of the season to see where they're going, and if it starts to lag, then yeah, I'm gonna back off.
Let
But
me
I'm
ask
not gonna
you
root no other team.
Let me ask you a
I
question.
was a
Here we
diehard.
go.
They ain't
How
gonna do
many
nothing.
people in Cleveland do you think is Cavs fans?
Most of them are not. They pseudo Cavs fans.
What are they for real?
They really Golden State fans.
No.
They fair weather fans.
No, think it is. When LeBron left here,
Oh, they went to Miami.
They went to Miami.
They went
We
to
was
Miami.
all
They was followers.
Miami fans.
They was all followers. But that's what I
you
say.
know what I'm saying? But when
that's
he
what I
came back, now we Cavs fans.
No,
You know
that's what I
I'm
call pseudo fans. They
Right.
pseudo fans. They not really Cleveland fans. They one players fans.
Yep, we was one
They're
player
pseudo
fans.
fans.
Yep.
They not real fans. It's just like with the Browns for real. Because most of the Pittsburgh people in Cleveland that follow Pittsburgh used to be Browns fans, and all of a sudden they jumped on the Pittsburgh bandwagon, and all of a sudden now they want to quote Pittsburgh rhetoric
That's because
and try to
they
learn.
don't want to live with the constant losing. So
That's
I like
fine.
them, but I'd rather go with the Cowboys.
That's how I
That's
feel.
all it is.
Now, I ain't
If the
got
Browns was winning, they'd be right back.
I'ma
ain't
just
got
root for
no other
Glenville.
Team I'd rather go for, but I'm not about to keep going for the losing team. I'm not doing
But
that.
you don't even know who
I
played
don't
for the
give a damn.
Browns.
All I know is they losing, and I ain't.
If they start winning, I'm sure you'll find out.
Yeah.
You,
Hell
you
yeah.
pay
If they
attention.
start
But-
winning, I'm gonna be gold. Goddamn.
You know what you should start doing? Talking into the mic. Because
Yeah,
we,
I'm right here.
can you hear her in the ear so?
Nah, it seems like the mic is off.
Yeah,
My
you
mic-
gotta
because
talk
you turned
into.
my mic off. Remember you
No,
said you was
I
gonna
did
turn
not
your
turn your mic off.
Yeah.
I did not. You got to
Look how
talk.
close I am
See
to
how
this
I am?
microphone,
See
dude.
how I am? See
I'm
how I am?
close.
You're not.
What you want me to do like this?
Well, I'm sure you're used to that. But it's getting to the end of the night.
We overtime anyway.
Yeah, overtime for me. So
She
I
got to
ain't-
go to the bathroom.
I'm up at
You
4.
gonna leave before we do the shout out? She's such a jerk. This is the vibe on air.
Yes, yeah,
It happens.
We don't vibe, and we all vibed out.
And it's cool, and I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate both of y'all, man.
sure,
you know,
man. Yeah.
I appreciate the impact y'all made on this city, both of y'all.
Thank
Just you know, and y'all still doing your thing. You know, Mike, I need a job. Dennis, can I get my tape back?
You said you got it back.
No, I got something. No, just play. But here's what I just need y'all to shoot out y'all information because I want people to be able to reach out and touch y'all and if they need to get in touch with you or find any of your work. That's what we need to do. Start with Mike Berry.
All right, skipthomasproductions.com. That's the site. You can go to IG. It's Mike B241. And then on Facebook is Mike Berry. You know what I'm saying? So you can check me out on IG every day with 1 minute of motivation. And,
that's that.
The 1 minute motivation is some dope stuff, man. I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, that's
but
sound like a nice concept. I like that.
yeah, it's dope. And I need you to accept my friendship on Facebook because I don't know why we not friends. I thought we were.
Yeah.
Maybe you just got rid of me because I'm black. No, just Dennis Cash. What's your info? You got to accept me too, bruh.
Oh, yeah, well, that's just two simple things for me. Just hit me up on my phone, 216-324-4802. You can always reach me on Facebook by Dennis Cash or either you can always do me an email to starmakers2@hotmail.com. So 216-324-4802 is your best way to reach me.
And the dude that called you earlier that said that he dialed your number by mistake because he was trying to reach his girl, that was me by mistake.
You know, I kind of thought it was.
It was me because I was actually trying to reach my girl for real. And I don't know. My phone is funny.
Yeah.
I hit her number, but it dialed yours.
I thought that number looked familiar because I hadn't saved your number in yet. I just got it in my
I just said text you earlier.
Yeah, it's all good.
But it's all good. Poison, shoot out your info so people know how to get you if they want to. I don't think they do.
They love me. It's P.O. It's POIZONIV. Facebook, Instagram. I'm always live.
Yes.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right. I'd like to thank Mr. Mike Berry for coming. We appreciate you, man. I'm trying to fake audiences. Oh, they turned it back. Okay. I'd like to thank Mike Berry for coming, and we appreciate you, man. And, you're doing some big things in Cleveland. And, I hope I want to see Mr. Postman. I still need to see Bangers, man. You
didn't see Bangers?
No, I haven't seen it yet, man. I've been trying to find it. I know it's coming.
Supporter.
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. Thanks to Dennis Cash, all these years of work and everything you've done. Make sure y'all go check out the Praise Dance Festival on August 18th and Back to School Jam with the Street Ball Live on the 19th. It's a great thing. So, show y'all love. Mm-hmm. But I need to tell y'all that you are now tuned in to The Vibe on Air. Mr. D's the Open Mic King. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it. Check us out on Facebook at The Vibe on Air. Check us out on Instagram at The Vibe on Air. Check us out on YouTube, The Vibe on Air. Snapchat, The Vibe on Air. Twitter, we ain't got one. I'm trying. I ain't had the time yet. Do people still Twitter?
Yeah, somewhere along there.
Somewhere? Poison Ivy, Mr. D's, we out of here. It's not really hers. She glued it on. Check us out next week. We'll be live at the Cleveland Urban Winery. Cat Daniil performing. We're going to have my man Spider in the building. We're going to have Tony B. Fit in the building. We going in, man. It's live broadcast as always. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hit up the website, www.thevibeonair. Join the community.
Shout out to Mike Berry and Dennis Cash.
Shout out to Mike Berry and Dennis Cash.
They did their damn thing.
Or Dennis Cash and Mike Berry. We don't know which one it was because the word. No, just.
Y'all know who they is.
Shout out to them. I'm trying to audition for some shows or some movies because I think I'm an actor.
Yeah, we trying to get in that new Skip Thomas project. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Skip Thomas.
Shout out to Skip.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Jammer Randy B. I'm sorry, man. I ain't mean to hurt your feelings.
Shout out to my bang because I'm blocking my forehead.
We up out of here. The Vibe on Air. Peace. Bye, Facebook. Oh, I got to do one thing with you real quick. I got to do a video drop. I'm going to show you in a second. I'm trying to stop this stream.